Celtics.
Come on, Maxey, step back three is good.
Boston's home for sports is 98.5, the Sports Hub. The Easily Media Group station. Sports Hub headlines.
Red Sox came from 2 runs down in the ninth to tie the game, then won it in the 10th, 3-2 over the Mets to sweep the series, make it 9 straight wins, 14 of the last 16 heading into the All-Star break. They're off until Friday when they host the Rays for a day-night doubleheader. Before yesterday's game, Sox recalled Brian Bayo from Worcester. He threw 4 1/3 innings out of the bullpen yesterday. Wilson Contreras takes part in the home run derby tonight in Philadelphia. Some NBA news. Golden State hiring former Lakers head coach Frank Vogel as their associate head coach. Yannick Sinner wins his second straight Wimbledon men's championship. Tom Kim fired a final round 64 to win a Genesis Scottish Open by 2. And another day off for the World Cup. France and Spain play the first semifinal Tuesday afternoon. England, Argentina on Wednesday. Headlines brought to you by John Sewer and Drain Cleaning, keeping drains flowing for homes and businesses in the greater Boston area since 1976. Go to johnsewer.com. I'm Ryan Johnston on Boston's Home for Sports, 98.5 The Sports Hub. More headlines in about 30 minutes.
This is what happens when analysts take over the games, take over the sport.
This is where you talk sports.
It happens all the time.
The Sports Hub.
Ladies and gentlemen, I need all of you to stop what you're doing and listen.
Toucher
Yes, I finally shaved my nuts.
and Hardy
Who, me?
Just hanging around.
on 98.5.
Anchorman, heard about you.
Yeah.
We're Costco guys. Of course we go shopping while eating a chicken bake.
That's gross.
Not a great cook, but I do cook.
When I asked him about the sides.
Kick them in the balls.
I don't care about it, but it's not good behavior.
Blaze Bailey is omitted.
Toucher and Hardy
We're the best friends that can be, my buddy and me.
on 98.5 The Sports Hub.
Let's go.
Around here.
But no, yeah, I've definitely ripped some thunder turds, yeah.
Oh, Adolfo. Adolfo is going to be on with us later this morning. I had I maybe purposely forgotten about the fact that Adolfo would not only be joining us at 9 a.m. this morning, but maybe even running point on his segment.
Oh, man.
As the Doughboys will be back on the show. They have another show coming to the Wilburs. So.
Adolfo running point.
Sure.
I know you haven't had the full Adolfo experience, but I have.
I've known
And
it.
when you say Adolfo running, it's one thing to come into the studio after the show is over and you were listening and you're like, wow. But it's quite another to be part of the Adolfo experience and watch him, or in this case, listen to him work.
I've been around Adolfo enough to where I think I've got a pretty good handle on it. And
I don't think you have.
I think that's why I purposely forgot about it. It's
I think when you are doing what you do and then you step aside and say, Adolfo, why don't you do this? It's quite different than what you're talking about.
hey, it's his time to shine. I'm not going to take it away
All right.
from him, and that's what's going to happen at 9. Ryan Johnston is here. Hi, RJ.
What's up, boys?
How you
see ya.
doing, buddy?
Doing great.
You all right? You having a good summer?
Having a great summer.
Yeah.
Just got back from Italy.
Oh.
Been playing a lot of golf.
What's with you going to Italy? What are you doing over there?
Being a tourist.
Just hanging out.
Eating, drinking, seeing the sights. Went to
Now-
Rome, went to Florence, went to Pesco San Sinesco and Orvieto. And
Ryan does great travel. There was a trip, I remember you went and saw Oasis in concert.
that was last summer. We went
at the
to
Rose Bowl.
I wanted to go see Oasis. They weren't playing around here. Had choice of New York, Chicago, Toronto, or LA. Got tickets to the Rose Bowl. Made a whole week out of it. We went to Vegas for 4 days.
Nice.
And we went to LA for the weekend, saw the show.
Let's lean into the Vegas part. Where did you stay in Vegas?
Cashed in some of my Marriott points and got 4 free nights in a suite at the Signature at MGM.
Jeez.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah.
So you were all right. I thought for a second you were being like, it was an off-strip Marriott.
No,
Really
no,
nice.
no.
The Excalibur. That was Beatles. That was Beatles hotel, if I remember right.
I still get emails a few times a year minimum about going to Vegas. Any recommendations? I'm like, well, I don't do anything that you're going to want to do, but every once in a while, and I think Trenny maybe was the last person to tell me this. She hadn't been in like years, or maybe hadn't gone. I'm like, okay, well, we were like working together one night. I said, where are you staying? She said, oh, my friends have a house off the Strip. And I said, stop. You're already doing it wrong.
Yeah, no.
I can't help you.
Gotta stay on the Strip.
You have to stay at the very least in a casino. Now, are you going to be off the Strip a little bit? Like, actually, we're staying out at like Red Rock Resort. Okay, that's fine. You can get away with that as long as you're in a hotel casino. If you're going to Vegas and you have an Airbnb, or if you have a friend who lives there in this really nice house, you're doing it wrong. You don't do it that way. The part of the whole Vegas experience is to be able to, stay up until 4 or 5 a.m. and see that crowd and see what happens there.
My first time I ever went to Vegas, went with I was meeting a friend of mine and a couple of his friends. They were already out there, so I flew out there. I got in at like midnight Vegas time. They've been at it all day. They're ready to go to bed. I'm like, see you tomorrow.
Yeah.
And I went and sat at a blackjack table until 5 o'clock in the morning with two guys from Canada. And we just sat and talked hockey. And these guys are putting down Ryan Cokes for 5 hours until like I couldn't even see the cards anymore. It's like, okay, now I'm ready to go to bed.
That's also the time of night/morning where you'd think that the young ladies who are working out there, like their prime time would be like midnight on a Friday. Like, oh no. It is when all options have been exhausted. It's about 4 o'clock in the morning. 4 or 5 a.m. Even on like a Sunday. And like, that's when you will be walking through the casino and like, that young lady's dressed awfully, doesn't look like she is, done for the night. Looks like she's just ready to go out. Oh.
Right.
Oh.
This last time I was on a moving walkway. It headed back toward I was getting a little breakfast to bring back to the room, and I got propositioned by a woman who was headed in the other direction on the moving walkway.
Oh no! It was literally a drive-by.
Yeah, and she's like, "Yeah, you looking for a date this morning?" I'm like, all
man.
set.
That must happen.
Not sure the wife would enjoy that.
Yeah, more and more, especially for like East Coast people going out there, and it's still supposed to be about debauchery and losing your mind, but there are plenty of people like me who go out there and don't engage in most of that stuff. But I'm used to getting up so early that, sometimes I'll find myself awake at 3, 4 a.m. and just, all right, I'll go downstairs and maybe do some gambling and, find a place, open early for breakfast. And sure, been propositioned. I'm like, no, thank you. I just brushed my teeth. Haven't even had my coffee yet. I'm not the guy coming off of Bender. I'm bright-eyed and bushy-tailed.
Right. Yeah. Just starting the day.
Yeah. I'm not saying I'm above that, but it's the last thing I'm thinking about right now. I just showered.
So when you were in Vegas, and by the way, you have any tips for getting hotel room upgrades? Maybe.
Stop it.
All right, sorry. You have any? What did you do? Did you go to the Sphere? What else did you do while you were there?
So the wife and I like to just kind of wander up and down the Strip in between gambling sessions. Like you kind of go up a few doors, check out the various hotels, check out what there is to do. Like we don't do a whole lot. We just kind of see the sights, do some people watching, get a drink here, go gamble here, just kind of bounce around the Strip a little bit.
Does your wife like to gamble or not?
My wife likes to be the social director at whatever table I am gambling at. So she will just kind of hang out and talk to the pit boss, talk to the dealer, talk to the other players, enjoy a cocktail while I'm sitting and playing and doing the same.
You were talking about gambling overnight and how you were just hanging out at a table. The best night I ever had gambling, I won, I don't know, $400, $500 playing craps at 4:30 in the morning. And it was one of those things where I was just following another guy who was on a roll. And I'm betting, $100 chips. I always set aside a budget. I suck at craps. I'm horrible. I understand maybe 75% of it. And that night, I just picked the right guy to follow, and it was me and two of the guys at a table, and we all won.
Like, there's a lot of holes in this story.
What?
If you're betting $100 chips and you're following a guy who's on a roll, how did you only win $400? It should be $4,000 minimum.
Because after he left, I stayed and lost most of it back. So that's why. I'm never quite sure when to push away from the table. That is my problem.
All right. So the trip out to LA for Oasis, I like that because, and I say this about a lot of things like concerts or events like that. If you told me Oasis might be different. Oasis is probably a bad example because I would want to see Oasis again. But even if they're at Gillette Stadium, let's say, like, oh God, it's like a whole thing, and I ended up getting tickets, and it's on a Tuesday night, and I don't know.
Yeah.
I could talk myself out of it. When I really look forward to shows like that is when it is in a totally different place, and part of the excuse of going there is to go to it. And it's like, oh, this is kind of nudge, nudge, wink, wink, what we're here for. Of course you're going to go to the show. Anything that's taken place around me that, we are ticketed for and are supposed to attend, if you told me 6 hours beforehand we're not going, I'd be like, whew, thank God.
Yeah.
As Mark Maron and many others have said, nothing better than canceled plans. It's the best feeling in the world.
Because you actually have a life. You had something that you could go to, but you chose not to.
Well, that's like so I was supposed to be in here 2 or 3 weeks ago. They had told me, oh, we're gonna have you work for a day or two because Hardy was going to be away, and then suddenly you weren't going to be away anymore.
Oh, that's right. Well, we had the wedding that was planned in the Ozarks.
That's right.
That my wife's side of the family. And there was an illness in the bride's side. We've never even met the bride. But everyone's okay now, but they had to postpone the wedding by like a month or so. So we weren't able to go then. And as luck would have it, we're unable to go for the rescheduled date. So that was a shame. And a shame for you, Ryan, that you were not able to come in, get up at 4:30 and come work those days.
Jim Wilde's like, turns out Hardy's not taking the day off, so we don't need you. I was like, okay.
Oh, okay. You must have been turning cartwheels. That's amazing.
I enjoy coming in here.
But come on,
this man. Is what his life is like.
You get like 4 or 5 months straight off. It's not the worst thing in the world to come in here every once in a while and just say hi.
He's not going to Italy every week. He's got all this time to kill. Golf only goes so far.
I kind of get it. There was maybe 2 or 3 Christmases ago where I had taken too much time off. I had too much vacation time saved at the end of the year, and I had like 2 full weeks of nothing other than maybe still working like Patriots pre and post at the time. Yeah, it was probably like 5 years ago. And the only thing I had scheduled during that entire week were Beetle and I were going to go have lunch on a Thursday. We're going to meet our 2 mutual friends for lunch like at Sixth String at Patriot Place. And it was the running joke in my house for about a week where Marcy would say something like, oh, well, I'm going to take the kids over there. And I said, well, I got that lunch on Thursday. I kind of get like, retired people or say my mom who has like one thing on her calendar for like a week from now. It's like, well, Geraldine's sister is coming to town and we are going to have brunch on this date. I'm like, who? What? Why are you telling me? Oh, because that's all you got.
This is what you're looking for.
That's what you've got going on. Yeah. And I caught a glimpse of that. Now, if that plan changes, I would have been devastated. Devastated. Because that's all I had. That's all I had in the world was that lunch at Sixth String in Foxborough. It was a good lunch, too.
So, I'm happy for you, but now have you learned your lesson? Do you plan things out when you know you have vacation coming up? Is everything like buttoned down? I have to do things every 48 hours. Do you have multiple events lined up?
I try to, yeah, because otherwise I'll go. If I have like a couple of days at home with nothing to do, my tendency is to go nuts the first day. I'm going to power wash this. I'm going to do this up in the attic. I'm going to get all this stuff done. By the end of the day, I'm like, holy crap, I got a lot done. And now what? So I like to have stuff planned like 2 or 3 days in.
You have a club to go to, though. That's another part of this.
Yeah,
Excuse me. You can go. You have a place to go,
but not in
when all else
not
fails.
in the winter. Like I can't go play golf and do all that stuff. So yeah, you got to. Yeah, I think like at some point, and I don't know if I'll ever like stop working entirely. It's kind of like just what I do.
The Midwest dad in you.
Yeah, I like to stay busy,
Yeah.
but I'd like to think I could keep myself busy, but after a while, there's nothing else to do. I did it all. Everything's done.
There's no project you can invent?
Yeah, man, I suppose I could do that, but then there's stuff that, if you're inventing things, that's not the same as things that need to be done. Oh, I had a good one over the weekend. I had blown out a line on my pressure washer. I don't know how. It may have gotten too close to the housing of
How
the
do you
actual
blow out
unit.
a line?
I don't know.
What does that mean exactly?
I was pressure washing, and the thing started blowing water out of the side of the hose.
Oh,
I'm like, oh, what the hell is this? It may have gotten too close to the housing of the engine, and burned a hole through the side of it. I'm like, I don't know. So I had to get the replacement hose. I couldn't get the old one off. I'm like, this thing is, I don't know if they use plumber's tape on it or whatever. I mean, it was really, really sealed on there. It required, leverage and, vice grips, and I had to cut the old hose off so I could kind of, finagle that thing a little bit better. That was something I was really, really proud of because it should have taken 45 seconds. It ended up taking closer to a half an hour to get that thing off there. But,
okay.
Great. And then here's the fun part. You get that new hose. It's coiled up all tight, and zip tied, from the plant. I've got that thing uncoiled and stretched across the garage right now, so it's going to be nice and straight. So when I rewind it, it's going to be just long, lazy loops. We're just going to keep that thing,
You're going to want to stop by my house later this week. There's going to be heavy machinery.
What's going on?
We've got a leak underneath our street. We come back the other day, we Uber back from the airport from our vacation. I get out of the car and I'm getting the luggage out, and I notice there is water running under my foot, in front of our driveway.
Oh my God!
That's not great.
What the hell is this? There is in between my house and my neighbor's house in the street right by the gutter, there's water bubbling up from under the asphalt.
Whoa.
And there is a cone. The water people have already been out to assess the situation. There's a cone. It's like, okay, so
you couldn't see the leak, so we're going to put up this big cone.
Well, so I call, next morning, wake up, call the water department. I'm like, what's going on with this cone thing?
Right on.
And they're like, it's on the list of repairs. Don't know exactly when they're coming, but they will be out, and they're going to have to dig up the whole street. It's like there's going to be some heavy machinery. So
that's a long drive, though. You live south of the city. He lives north of the city.
So I'm telling the lady at the water department, I'm like, you need to give me a heads up on when this is happening. Number one, because we might have to get our cars out of the driveway. We might not be able to get in and out once they get the machinery here. Number two, I need to tell Hardy because he might need to stop by and, chat these guys up a little bit.
Is there a vantage point from your house where you can spy on them?
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's
great.
Yeah.
Our guest room window looks out on the whole thing.
Fantastic. Oh, that's good. So what you do is you set up a chair right next to that window and pull over is there a nightstand in the guest room?
Oh, yeah.
Slide that nightstand over there next to the chair and just get yourself some snacks. Get some hard candies. Just something because you're going to be spending a lot of time up there. Do you have field glasses or binoculars?
Binoculars. Oh, yeah,
yes.
sure.
Yeah, okay. Go ahead. Get those ready to go?
Do you share Hardy's love of this kind of thing?
Not a little bit. No, I have zero interest in it at all.
I don't understand. They're going to be digging up your street. That's not to be interested in. There will be water mains and there will be heavy machinery, as you said. There will be the men with bad backs out there and in bad moods. what's on the menu for that day?
I don't know. I don't know what day it is yet.
Okay.
They haven't given. They're supposed to be giving me a heads up as to when they're coming to.
Well, do you? I mean, do you have a list of things that you might prepare for them? You have to feed them while they're there.
Oh, you want? So I should be like full on barbecuing for the work crew?
That would, I mean, that's right up your alley. I mean, if you could, get the smoker going now, it seems like that would. I would take the easy way out. I'd probably just do like a box of subs either from Subway or Jersey Mike's or something.
No, I disagree. You do what you do. You do what you do best, and you can have fun while you're doing it. You see, it's a double thing.
Right.
You enjoy doing this, so why not do it for your wife and yourself and the construction crew out there? You can feed everybody.
Yeah.
Don't go get a box of subs. That's wrong. Don't do that.
No, that's what I would do.
Yeah.
RJ, let me ask you something.
Mm-hmm.
You ever do like mini brisket or pulled pork sliders?
Oh, sure.
Okay. Yeah. What do you use? You use the King's Hawaiian rolls? You got something special that you use?
Those are good. You can get. I'm a fan of the potato roll.
Yeah.
So you can get some potato rolls, like slider rolls.
I'm the worst grocery shopper ever. My wife sent me out last night for 3 ingredients that we needed for something that she was making. She needed pineapple. She said, "Don't come home with a SpongeBob pineapple, dummy. Get me some cut pineapple because I don't have a lot of time here." I'm like, okay, I can do that. I know where that is. Check. What else do you need? She needed broccoli. I'm like, all right, we're getting into a gray area here. Do you want like a big twig? She's like, no, you can get that if you want to, but cleaned cut broccoli would be better.
Just the broccoli crowns.
Yeah, whatever. Okay, check. And she said scallions. I'm like, uh-oh.
Yeah. I've had that problem too.
I'm like,
yeah.
What are these scallions that you speak of? I know from a scallion pancake. That's a nice little side order item when we're getting Chinese food. What does this scallion look like? She's like, it'll be there. It'll be right in the produce section. There's scallion.
They might be referred to as green onions, though.
Okay, tell me that before
Right.
I go to Shaw's. So and I time myself on pretty much everything in life. Just as a means to, it's like, all right, it's 5:47. I bet I can make it to Shaw's by 5:49. In and out 4 minutes. Check out Tuesday. I'll be back here by 6:17. I always make these proclamations to my wife and kids.
Washington in the Equalizer, then the clock starts down.
Yeah. They got that from me, and I say it to my wife and kids all the time. It's like, all right, I still have to shower and shave. I'll be down here and ready to leave in 8 minutes. They're like, okay, and then I come down. And I'm like, hey, check the clock. Was it 8 minutes? And they're like, we don't know. We don't care. But I say I'll be home at 6:17. And I get in there. There's nothing labeled scallions.
No,
it's green onions. So
right.
I gotta call my wife, which remarkably she picks up. She never takes my calls, but she did this time. I'm like, there are no scallions. I'm describing to her. She goes, green onions. It's the same thing. I'm like, well, fine. But this is why potato rolls bother me. When I go to the grocery store, I'm the worst shopper. I'm like, why are you calling it a potato roll? Are there potatoes in it?
Yeah.
Why is it called a potato roll?
Yeah, they're made from potatoes.
No, they're not.
They are.
They're made from flour.
Well, they're made from, but it's like, okay, so, like instant mashed potatoes, like the potato flakes that you can
Sure.
just, okay. That's basically what the flour is made of. It's like a potato flour.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Okay. All right. Well, I won't be scared of them anymore. All right. We're gonna find out what happened last night. Bill Koch going to be joining us a little bit later. Ryan also going to bring us up to speed what's happening in the Bruins offseason, which will continue here for a couple more months. But that's all right. Never too early to talk hockey when Ryan Johnston is here. As I said, the Doughboys will be on along with, at least one of the Doughboys, along with Adolfo at 9 o'clock. We can find out if Adolfo even knows that we're having a party in his honor.
I doubt it.
That was announced on Friday. More on that happening here, too. On a Fredless Monday here on Toucher and Hardy on 98.5 The Sports Hub.
More Toucher and Hardy on the way on the Sports Hub.
Doesn't have to be a game of what happens, so change your lettuce and change your life with Dr. Matthew Lepresti at 1-800-GET-HAIR. John Wallach.
All right. Entering yesterday, the Red Sox had won 8 straight games. They had gotten back in the playoff race, despite all odds to the contrary. And yesterday they went for a 3-game sweep at Citi Field over the New York Mets. Peyton Tolley started. He almost got out of the first inning unscathed.
0-2 again to Lindor. Smacked into left field. Eaton racing back. That's over his head. That's going to climb to the bottom of the wall and bring in a run. Ewing will score. Lindor will take second. Well, he had a tough at bat, and he earns himself a double.
Patrick Ewing has unretired. Scored the first run for the Mets yesterday.
Was he wearing a T-shirt underneath? Because you can't tell.
Yeah, I know,
what's
that's
the point?
the thing. I don't know. And you'd figure not a lot of speed scoring and he still scored.
We had that discussion a couple of weeks ago, Ryan, about how, and you would be of the same age. Did you start wearing a T-shirt underneath your basketball jersey?
Never owned a basketball jersey.
The hockey guy.
So no, I did not.
At some point, you've put on a basketball jersey. You had to in gym class or something.
No, we always had like the T-shirts to wear in gym class.
Wow.
So no,
never worn a basketball.
I don't know
jersey
that I've
in your
ever
life?
had a It's such not a good look especially for an unathletic person.
You never, like as a hipster, decided, you know what, I'm going to rock.
Like
this.
there's no real problem like wearing a jersey from any other sport. Like if you want to wear a football jersey, if you're a fan, if you want to wear a baseball jersey, if you want to even wear like a hockey sweater, a soccer jersey. The basketball jersey is it's the tank top. It's just not a good look.
But that's why you
Depends
wear.
if you have the guns to show out, my friend.
Yeah. I mean,
Like
first
me.
of all.
Because most basketball fans do.
I know. It's so
But it
sad.
was a
You got a little side muffin spilling out of the top of that thing.
Wear the T-shirt to hide the fact that you don't have guns to show.
right. You cover.
You get your hairy pits hanging out.
Yeah.
You cover up the top half of the guns, and Patrick Ewing made that all possible.
Is Mr. Blackwell sitting courtside?
Patrick Ewing had to, because Patrick Ewing is one of the sweatiest human beings that ever lived.
That's true.
Even with the T-shirt.
That was a huge thing for a while. The hipsters were rocking the most obscure NBA jerseys that they could find, and this was probably before you could have them made. But you'd see guys walking around, and again, since Fred is not here, allow me to make a Detroit reference, so that we keep our streak alive. You'd see him walk around wearing like Kelly Tripuccia jerseys.
Oh, I can do one better. Back in the day, they were wearing Jerry Seasting jerseys.
Okay,
The
same thing.
Celtics.
Yes. Yeah. That
Oh yeah.
You don't wear
Scott
Jordan.
Wedman. What are you doing with a Wedman shirt on?
Yeah, you don't
Weird.
wear Jordan. You
know.
don't wear a Larry Bird jersey. You wear something really obscure. But all right, not for Ron.
All right, so the Mets are up 1-0. Francisco Lindor drove in that first run. He was in the middle of everything, both good and bad for the Mets in this one. It was the first time in a week the Red Sox had actually trailed in a game. That's how hot this team has been. Totally lasted 3 2/3 innings, and with him crowding his career high for innings it pitched in a season, he was taken out in favor of Brian Bayo, who had just been called up and was back in his bulk relief role. Bayo, as he has been all year, good in this role, except for this one pitch with Lindor, once again the problem.
The 2-2. And flying into left field, driving back Eaton, driving back Rafaela. That one is going to get out of here. A home run by Francisco Lindor, his 5th of the year. That will make it 2-0 Mets.
So Bayo allowed just that run over 4 1/3 innings of relief, but it was 2-0 Mets, and that's the way it stayed heading to the top of the 9th inning. And a reminder here before we go any further, entering yesterday, the Red Sox were 0-43 when trailing entering the 9th. With a runner on first and 1 out, Romy Gonzalez hit a grounder right at Lindor.
Romy, 1 home run on the year. And a ground ball to short, bobbled by Lindor, and he does not have a play.
The bad Lindor shows up. By the way, Romy Gonzalez, your cleanup hitter yesterday.
Oh, of course.
With the 1 home run. So first and second now, the Red Sox still in it against Devin Williams, who was just god-awful as the Yankees closer last year during the first half of the season, and not much better as the Mets closer this year. He walked the next 2 hitters to force in a run. Red Sox down 2-1, still 1 out, and Jarren Duran, he had the 193 batting average up with the bases loaded.
And a high fly, shallow right, racing in, Bench, coming on, slides, trying to make the catch. He did not, and the run scores. The Red Sox have tied it up in front of it. Chang comes in to score, and it's a 2-2 game.
That's the only way Duran gets on base these days. Pop fly that lands right in front of the right fielder who can't get it with a dive. But even better, tie game, and after Aroldis Chapman zipped through the bottom of the 9th, still tied heading to extra innings. Masataka Yoshida, the ghost runner on second to start the Red Sox 10th. He was bunted to third, and Anthony Siegler had a chance to put the Sox ahead.
Rafaela on deck. He started the rally in the 9th. Yep. And a line drive into left field, driving back Taylor. He'll make the catch, tagging up Masataka. He is in to score. The Red Sox have their first lead today. On top, 3-2 at Citi Field.
After Garrett Whitlock got the Mets 1-2-3 on 13 pitches in the bottom of the 10th, the Red Sox pulled off a shocking win. It is their 9th in a row. They're a half a game out of a playoff spot. It's the first time they've swept a 9-game road trip since 1977. They had lost, ladies and gentlemen, their last 77 games when trailing by multiple runs entering the 9th. They are now off for the All-Star break. They are 2 games under 500. Do either one of you believe in this team?
Okay.
I believe they exist. Is that what you were asking about?
Yeah,
This wasn't a
I watched them on
philosophical
television yesterday. I'm pretty sure that they're there.
It's absolutely foolish, and it's completely disingenuous to say No, they've got nothing. When you win 14 of 16 and 17 of their last 22, I mean, 5 losses in their last 22
They've
games.
won 14 out of 16, and they're still below the 500 mark.
Right.
Yeah, they were 32 and 46 at one point.
They're not garbage. They're not trash. They're not across the board obvious 100% answer from all people involved. Sell, sell, sell. But no, I do not believe that this is a viable team that can make a real run in the playoffs.
And I agree with you. They Anthony Siegler, who has now a career high 70 at-bats in one season, is leading off for you. You have Jarren Duran, who has played 87 games and is hitting 193, and they're still running him out there every day. I mean,
batting average is an overrated statistic, really.
But at least he's not getting a lot of plate appearances. Oh, wait a second. How many games
playing
has he played?
every damn day. They tried him leading him off. They tried him hitting third, fifth. Now they dropped into seventh because there's nobody else to do it. Andrew Monasterio, who has been a career utility infielder, has never played more than 90 games in a season, is playing every day for you at short and at first. The shortstop, Cheng, is the 5th string shortstop in your organization. Just came off the best week of his life, hitting over 300. These are the guys that are playing for you every day. And I think we had Ian Brown on before I went on vacation, and Ian told us, every team goes on a run, and it took the Red Sox until now to do it in games 88, 89, and 90, wherever they are. They won 10 in a row, I think, entering the All-Star break last year. They are in the middle of being touched by a higher force. The combined talent on this team is awful on offense.
Yeah.
Terrible on offense. And they're scoring runs left and right, and they're winning games they shouldn't win. This is what happens to every Major League Baseball team. This is still a bad team. And the scary part about this is going to invigorate the front office. And they're going to say, and this happened in September of last year, see, we always knew that this team was going to be good. No, you didn't. And all of these guys that are playing well for you now, they weren't good enough to start for you at the beginning of the season. You acquired them as depth pieces. You never thought they'd be this way. And yet here you are. And there was a lot of luck that went into their run last year. You never knew that all the rookies would come up and hit.
Yeah.
Roman Anthony was on a heater of massive proportions for about 2 months. You can't expect that from a rookie. You take Garrett Whitlock and Roman Anthony out of this lineup, and you win 14 out of 16. No chance you thought that was going to happen.
No. And look, the half a game out of the wild card right now, that's cool. Give you something to watch. Hopefully. When they're, after the All-Star break and in the unofficial second half of the season, I get it. I'd rather have something to watch and something to keep your attention, have some kind of like dog in the fight. I get that. But to think that this should in any way change their philosophy.
It will, by the way. I guarantee you it will. And the problem is you're going to have the robot GM, overload. Might as well have the word tilt across his forehead when the trade deadline comes, because we all know how successful he was last year at this. I mean, he does not compute. I mean, how else can you explain the moves he made?
But in part
and
of
the panic moves he made at the deadline last year?
Part of that calculation has to be you have to be willing and able to identify the anomalous, and this is an anomaly. What they've gone on.
I guarantee you they're going to delude themselves, because they were all in on we're going to make the playoffs this year. And so now, lo and behold, even though we're terrible, we are now half a game out of the playoffs.
It's all coming together.
That's right.
There's 2 or 3 potential all-stars on this team.
When in reality, the robot GM should be selling white wall tires. Oh. That's what he should be doing. Okay, real quick before we go to break, the Home Run Derby is tonight, and if you're a Red Sox fan, you should be interested because Wilson Contreras is going to participate. But I want to bring this up for 2 reasons. One is, this year, for the first time, it's not on ESPN. I don't know if you guys know this. It's going to be streamed on Netflix.
Oh, fantastic.
You think Chris Berman will be sitting at home watching and still doing the shtick?
Oh, sure, because he has nothing better to do. Yeah.
Berman was at the Travelers Championship. He's got plenty to do.
So it's streamed on Netflix, but the key is the format this year is a little bit different.
Oh, Christ.
Instead of being timed, each player just gets 20 swings in the first round, 15 in the semifinals, and 15 in the finals. No round can end on a homer. That means that players can take as many pitches as they want. You know, if the ball's not just where they want it.
Awesome, because that's what you need is sit there for 4 hours watching guys take pitches.
Is that why they went to the timed format?
Exactly right. But Netflix wants streams. They want streams. They want the event to go longer so more people, in theory, can log in and watch. So if you are watching the Home Run Derby, this is not going to be a quick event.
It wasn't quick with the timing. Like it was still going on for like 3 hours.
But they had, because of the timed nature of it, they were able to schedule the commercial breaks on network TV. This is just theory. I don't know this, but they were able to plug in. They knew how many stop sets they were going to do, how long those commercial breaks were going to be based on the timed nature of the event. I don't think Netflix runs commercials.
Oh, yeah, they do.
Oh, do they?
During their live events? Oh, yeah, they do.
I don't remember that.
Is
that
right?
Yeah,
they
do. I know
do.
Amazon does.
Yeah. Okay. No, I would be willing to guarantee you there will be at least as many ads as there would be if this thing was on TV.
Well, then I don't have anything for you. Yeah. It's awful.
As for the game itself, Dylan Cease, Toronto's ace, will start for the American League. Cam Schlittler announced yesterday he didn't want to pitch in the All-Star game. So it'll be Dylan Cease against Christian Sanchez. Christopher. I always get this wrong. Sanchez is going to start in his own home ballpark for the Phillies. Mizorowski, the guy who should be pitching, has arm fatigue and is out a week.
All right. Very good. We'll continue more what happened last night after RJ gives us the headlines here on Toucher and Hardy.
Sports Hub headlines.
Red Sox overcame a 2-run deficit in the ninth inning, won it in 10, 3-2 over the Mets yesterday. 9 straight wins for the Sox heading into the All-Star break. Their next action is on Friday. They'll host the Rays for a day-night doubleheader at Fenway. Team recalled Brian Bayo from Worcester yesterday, threw 4 1/3 innings out of the bullpen.
Mass Ave in Arlington. Online at sportsetc.net.
Unlock your brand's potential with multi-platform advertising trusted by over 500 local businesses. With a powerful mix of radio, streaming audio, and targeted digital solutions, your message reaches the audiences that matter most. From the influence of trusted local radio to the precision of digital targeting and the flexibility of streaming audio, this approach delivers measurable results that drive real growth. Visit 985thesportshub.com/advertise.
Back to school starts now. Get long-lasting battery life on the Dell XPS laptop powered by Series 3 Intel Core so you can work from anywhere. Now starting at $699 with exclusive student pricing starting at $599. Complete your setup with savings on select monitors and must-have electronics and accessories. Limited time deals and free shipping on PCs and more await you at Dell.com/deals. That's Dell.com/deals.
It is Toucher and Hardy here on 98.5 The Sports Hub. Fred might be in Hoover, Alabama. He might be back. There was talk of him maybe returning early, depending on how the games were going down there, but it doesn't matter. Even if he is home and awake right now, he's not in today or tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yeah, he made that decision. There's no chance.
No chance he's awake.
No. Maybe if he's in Hoover and there's an early game, he's awake right now.
Yeah.
But either way, not here. So go ahead, Wallach. What else?
We got less than 2 weeks left before the NFL begins training camp. And for Patriots free agent wideout Stephon Diggs, that's a problem because he hasn't signed with anyone yet. He had 85 catches for over 1,000 yards and 4 touchdowns and played in all 17 games for the Patriots, coming off a torn ACL last season. And said on his YouTube channel over this past weekend, he can't believe it.
Everybody got a one. Let's just say everybody got a one. Opportunities aside. People might say it might be like, what, 7? That's like real ones. Right. In my opinion, I can compete with anybody. But take those as your ones, right? Right. You can't name a number 2 better than me. There's not a number 2 on a team. Like, let's presumably give people the credit to just say, okay, you want to take the number 1 spot away. Name your number 2 receiver right now. And tell me how much he makes. And then my last question is he better than me?
All right. Diggs, it's a 15-minute post on his YouTube channel. There's always music playing. It's not like he's sitting in a chair and talking
like the old
into a
Scott Farrell
microphone.
show?
Yeah, I don't know. He's...
Shot, kick, save, score. Egg McMuffin, over, under.
That's right.
22.5.
That's all it is just Diggs. Sometimes Diggs isn't even talking into the camera. Sometimes the camera is to his side and he's talking to someone off camera, and it's clips spliced together for 15 minutes. It's really strange. But the bottom line is Diggs is right. I mean, there are a lot of teams that could use a number 2. Like Baltimore has Zay Flowers and a bunch of other guys. Atlanta has Drake London and a bunch of other guys. There are certainly teams that theoretically could be or should be talking to him, but still he doesn't have a job.
Okay, so this would have to be the probably a longer conversation in terms of actually questioning him on this. But if you look at the number 2s right now, a quick list here. We'll start with the Vikings, Justin Jefferson and Jordan Addison. Is he better than Jordan Addison?
It's close, but probably not.
Right.
Addison's pretty good.
The Lions have Amon-Ra St. Brown and Jamison Williams.
No.
Who do you like?
Not even close.
Diggs or Jamison Williams?
Jamison Williams by a lot.
Cowboys have CeeDee Lamb and George Pickens.
Yeah, I know. That's no chance there.
No chance there. Rams have Puka Nacua and Devontae Adams.
Okay. I'm not saying that
Bengals have Jamar Chase and T. Higgins.
Right.
I mean, come on.
But as I said, there are opportunities. My statements against Baltimore, Atlanta, and Atlanta are true. There are opportunities there, and Baltimore especially is a team looking to contend. Why not? And by all accounts, Stephon Diggs was a leader for the Patriots last year. Why not give him an opportunity to play with a guy like Lamar Jackson?
I think he's absolutely worthy of a shot somewhere, but this is where I think he gets into trouble. It's like, because it worked here, he was a de facto number 1 guy here.
Yeah.
And that, I think that suited his ego and whatever he needed to fulfill personally. But for him to make, demands as being like a legit number 2 somewhere and bring me in as the number 2 and look at the money, you don't even have to pay me as much. If I were Stephon Diggs or his agent, I'd be like, you know what? Why don't you just worry about getting a job? And even if you are not going to be heralded or brought in or paid as a legit number 2 guy, why don't you go in there and try and get, 3 catches a game. See if you can work your way into a system, which would be a lot. Get yourself into a position where they're targeting you 3 or 4 times, and you come down with 2 or 3 of them, and that will speak volumes about what you're doing. And by the way, you'll be making more money than you are right now, even if it's a paltry sum, even if it's not legit number 2 money.
And there's also the off-the-field stuff. I mean, there was a lot of off-field stuff for him last year, from the pink powder on the boat to the live-in chef accusing him of something, even though he was acquitted of all charges. And then I was just reading up on this. There are bizarre sexual assault claims by a guy.
Well, there was a sexual assault claim, and I guess his brother had an altercation with the guy.
He got sued, and that got settled out of court. But then
Yes.
there's this separate thing. That same guy is accusing Stephon Diggs. So far unfounded, but those charges are still pending. I think the teams are just staying away from him because it's just too much. Too much. On the field, productive leader. Off the field, just too much stuff to deal with.
Right. There's a list of pros and cons that you go down, especially for wide receivers. And whether it's fair or not, there seems to be, I don't know if you've ever encountered this, John, like a diva-like moniker given to wide receivers in the NFL.
I've seen that.
There might be a handful when it comes to dealing with their personalities and egos.
Yeah, kind of.
So there's this whole calculus you have to do when you're talking about bringing in a number one. It's like, oh, man, this guy, he's so good. I mean, they did it here with Antonio Brown. They're willing to, take a flyer on him just because he's so good. You're willing to do that for a number one and have the conversation. Are you going to have the same conversation and weigh the pros and cons for a guy who may not even be a number two on your team?
Yeah.
That's if you're the GM and you're the personnel guy and the owner, at some point you just say, this is way too much conversation for a guy who's going to be, third on the depth chart here.
But if you are a team that thinks it has a shot, and I bring back Baltimore again, if you're a team that thinks it has a shot, and then maybe one intangible away from pushing you over the top, why not take a flyer on a guy like this? I'm sure he'll be drama, but if you can get a contract for relatively cheap, I would do it.
Okay.
I would absolutely do it.
And in all fairness to Stephon Diggs, other than the 2C on the boat, okay, and the chef thing, which seemed odd, and got that was he found not liable, not guilty?
Yeah,
it was like a
he
civil suit, whatever.
Clean
whatever.
slate.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That's fine. In terms of, like the day-to-day and week-to-week drama with the Patriots, there really wasn't any.
None. Absolutely none.
And he appeared to be really good in the room in terms of bringing along the young wide receivers.
Really well liked by everyone in that locker room. So I don't understand why some team would not give him an opportunity. He's good enough.
Yes.
1,000 yards, 1,000 yards.
Yeah.
Good enough.
Well, maybe they're willing to give him an opportunity at a very cheap dollar figure. And he's like, I'm good.
Yeah. I
But if you're out of work with 2 weeks to go before training camp, you want to play.
Yeah, but you wait until invariably somebody blows a knee the first day of training camp and suddenly you have a job.
Well, then why?
At this point, it's like there's no need to sign today.
Why post this now? That's the thing. He's complaining that
because he hasn't
posted
posted in a couple days.
Maybe that's what it was. It had been 48 hours since we had heard from Stephon Diggs.
You got to stay top of mind in the algorithm.
Right.
All right. There was an event over the weekend, a big fight that a lot of people were looking forward to. A lot of action in on that fight. We'll tell you what happened with that, and we'll gauge the disappointment that people had compared to other things as we continue here on Toucher and Hardy.
You're listening to
McGregor trying to get off to a fast start is in green.
Keeps falling. Conor fell twice trying to throw those kicks.
Oh, good right hand from Holloway. McGregor back to his feet, 30 seconds.
He's slipping around a bit on the mat.
Oh, there's a third slip.
What's going on with his leg?
Holloway's looking at the referee because he feels as though McGregor maybe is injured. Mike Beltran says keep working. Oh, man.
It's so weird that he just keeps falling every time like that.
Yeah, not good.
Every time he throws.
Like there's something wrong with his leg. And that's that leg. It's the leg that he broke.
Oh, and now look, that's going to do it.
Oh, my goodness.
What is going on?
About as anticlimactic an end as there could be. McGregor's injured. There's some injury he's dealing with.
This is according to Ariel Helwani, who has been an MMA insider for 15, 20 years. He had a number.
5 million?
Higher.
10 million?
Higher.
20 million?
$15 million for 60-plus seconds.
15?
15.
So that is how the fight went down between Max Holloway and Conor McGregor the other night. And it appeared as though, and I'm sure you've seen it by now, McGregor tries some kind of flying kick to get things started and maybe injures his leg either mid-kick or on the landing or something. Max Holloway asked about it afterward. Had this to say, Ryan, if you would please bring me up. Thank you.
It's probably a little unfulfilling tonight. So just as you sit there right now, just can you process what unfolded?
Yeah, I mean, I had the man weak in the knees, I guess, so.
Oh, Max, you're an absolute caution.
You're on your way.
You are a panic.
You know, all jokes aside, I just hope he's good. You know, I know Conor been battling some stuff. Looked like he really been changing. You know, he found God. He had his kids in there. So, you know, during the fight, you could obviously tell his demeanor changed, you know. And
when? From second one to second number two? I mean, it was immediate.
I was, you know, shout out to the ref. I was trying to tell the ref sooner, you know. Like, this guy's kids is front row, you know. I don't want to see him take unnecessary damage. Trying to stop the fight, but this is how crazy Conor is. The first time he's on the ground, I was punching him. He's like, fight. I was like, okay. That's why I backed up. I said, stand up there. Let's fight. And then he fell back down, and then the fight was called.
Oh, that's a good sign of a good legitimate bout there where one of the guys is instructing the other guy to fight. That's good. I mean, this is supposed to be a blood sport. And, you know, you're telling, no, it's okay. Hit me.
I didn't want to beat his brains out while he was limping. Yeah. You know, if he was healthy, that's one thing.
The thing that, obviously, this is more stunt. This is more of a stunt event than anything else. McGregor's been off, 5 years? He's going to be 38 years old this week. I mean, the only thing that people wanted to see was how McGregor would do. You know, it wasn't because the fight was supposed to be competitive. It wasn't because this meant anything for any title. It's just, oh, here's a big name. And you saw it happen with Ronda Rousey. I forgot who she fought. It wasn't that long ago.
The Gina Carano
Gina
fight.
Carano had been off for 15 years. You know, and Ronda Rousey is a shell, apparently, of what she used to be and was more of an actor than anything else. This is what combat sports have come down to. This is what, in this Jake Paul, Mike Tyson world, this is what people apparently flock to. And this is another example of it. And Conor McGregor was able to leave without getting a snot beat out of him because he got injured.
Right. Now, when was he injured? Dana White, in his post-bout press conference, answers questions, leaves, but then comes back. He comes back almost as though, wait a second, I had a list of things that I really wanted to get out there and get on the record. I don't know if I said this, but I need to say this also.
When we were talking about the guy over here earlier asking about there being a pre-injury, just on my accounts, the face-off that day is at 80 million views, right? So if there was a pre-existing injury, somebody would have noticed it. He was limping, put his shoes on. He ran right at him. I don't think there was. Anything is possible, but he sure didn't look like it. And for $80 million just on my accounts, that number's got to be massive, and nobody noticed anything. So there you go.
So what was the point of that? I don't know if it was Dana just to go back there and somehow get us to believe that there were 80 million people watching this live on his social media accounts, or that somehow you'd be able to tell like some internal injury just based on the way he was at the weigh-in or the face-off or whatever it is that you're talking. I don't know. But this is the big question now for Dana White and all the organizers. Hey, it's obvious this guy wasn't right. You took all this action.
There was suspicious movement on the line leading into the fight.
Yeah.
On
McGregor's opponent.
Okay.
So suddenly, after all this money had come in on McGregor, because people want to bet on Conor McGregor, obviously they're rooting for Conor McGregor,
well, and that's where the money was to be made,
right? And suddenly, the line started to shift shortly before the fight. Word got out.
Well, there's that, and then there's a lot of like sharp action, and a lot of action on the favorite comes in late in most events. But this is something we were talking about. Like it's changed now so much with the availability of online and immediate mobile betting, to where it's affected horse racing, I guess, more than anything, where this huge action will come in very, very, very late. You think you've got, a decent payday coming your way if you've picked a winning horse at 12-1. Come to find out, oh no, there were millions and millions of dollars bet in the last few seconds on this horse, and it dropped you down to 4.5-1. Like, how the hell did this happen? Oh, well, there's all this money that came in late. All right, but it also begs the question, as people who were, I don't know who's settling in for a Conor McGregor fight at this point, especially people who really know UFC and knew that he probably had no chance of actually winning this thing. I don't know how many people had their nights ruined for this. But nights have been ruined. Days, even weeks have been ruined by the failure of an actual sporting event to come through and to provide actual entertainment for people. So that begs the question, have you witnessed one of these? Have you sat down? Have you planned something around an event that ended up falling short?
Well, remember how many years ago was it, the Mayweather-Pacquiao fight?
Yeah.
That everybody in the world had to see. And they made hundreds of millions of dollars on the pay-per-view, and it was like the worst fight that you could it was the most boring fight you could possibly sit through.
Because Mayweather waited 10 years for Pacquiao to get into his 40s before actually fighting.
Well, but also because actual boxing fans knew, like, Mayweather's a boring fighter to watch. You're not going to see knockouts. You're not going to see, anything. He's just going to sit there and jab. It's going to be boring.
He's a defensive fighter. Pacquiao, when he was healthy and in his prime, incredibly aggressive and knocked people out and was fun to watch, but Mayweather was smart. He waited until he knew Pacquiao couldn't fight back. And oddly enough, if you remember, the theory was that Pacquiao was hurt leading up to the fight. I don't know if you guys remember this.
I do.
It was a shoulder injury, and they still sent him out there because they had all of these pay-per-view buys. They didn't want to waste all that money, either on betting lines or otherwise.
That was 2015.
Yeah.
And I remember watching that via FaceTime. Zoe, who said he wasn't going to watch it, and he couldn't, and he just couldn't, part with the money to do it. He finally ended up getting it, and then FaceTime me the TV screen for it. And
they charged like $120 for that pay-per-view or something like that. It was insane.
Yes, it was. I think it was $99.99, whatever. It would take your pick. Oh, it's not $100, so I'll pay.
Michael in Natick has something on the line movement before this. Go ahead, Michael.
Hey, Hardy. Good morning. I'm a big MMA fan. I definitely grew up watching Conor, so I was definitely in tune with the betting and just, all the action leading up to the fight. The biggest red flag that came out was on one of the markets. I won't name which site. Within the last hour, and even on the pay-per-view on Paramount Plus, they acknowledged the bet and put it on the screen. someone put 900,000 on Max Holloway, and when you look at the username of that person, it said McGregor's leg is effed, and it spelled out what it was. So that was the actual username of someone that put 900 grand on Holloway in the last hour prior to the fight.
Wow.
So there was definitely information out there within circles of people that are in the know. Maybe you can get Dan Lifshatz on. I'm sure he's got all the info here playing Monday quarterback.
No,
But,
we're good. Thanks for the advice.
Well, yeah,
there was definitely some suspicious betting that McGregor's leg was at least tweaked prior to the fight.
That's very good information.
Could have happened.
Michael.
It could have happened between what Dana White was talking about and how he ran at him. It could have happened in the night previous.
There's a video circulating purporting to be Conor McGregor walking into a pain clinic 4 days before the fight.
Oh, Jesus. All right. That's a little different. That's a lot different.
There's another video, by the way, of McGregor appearing to kind of hop around and limp a little bit while he's trying to take his sandals off before he got into the octagon.
There are a lot of events that I've gone to that have really not been good. I wasn't at this event, but I think Game 7 of the Stanley Cup Finals.
Well, they're going to say Wimbledon.
We'll get to that. I was told we were waiting for 7:40 for that.
No, you're right. I don't want to.
Don't spoil
John's experience in Wimbledon coming up later this hour.
Yeah, that certainly is number one with a bullet. But the Cup Game 7 against St. Louis is one of those, a gigantic disaster. Personally, I think it was 2017, and I was told, you know what, Wallach, you're going to get a chance to call an NBA Eastern Conference Finals playoff game. It's going to be LeBron in Cleveland against Isaiah Thomas and the Celtics. And I paid for my wife to be there. Got a sitter for the kids. Wife sat in the next section over from me from the broadcast location. I get out there, and I'm like, oh, this is great. I've never done this before. It's going to be tremendous. It's at Boston Garden. It's at TD Garden. The crowd's nuts. Final score, Cleveland 130, Celtics 86. And that was actually Isaiah's last game in a Celtic uniform. He got hurt. He had torn himself up, torn his knee up, and he barely played in that game. It was a disaster. Max and I were talking about National Geographic in the second half. It was bad.
Yeah.
Bad.
I think fights, though, boxing matches, UFC, I think they have a better chance of being like the most disappointing because they can be over so quickly. I mean, Tyson was kind of famous for it because once he had established himself, his knockouts would happen so quickly.
But you got to see something spectacular at that. Like when he knocked out Michael Spinks in 91 seconds, that was like a wow kind of a moment. It's like you wish the fight would have lasted a little longer, but you saw something memorable.
It was you knew what you were getting into when you paid that pay-per-view money. That was different.
Except for Tyson Holyfield 2. And that was the
which
one
I also paid money for.
Okay,
yes,
so yeah,
I paid money for that one.
I was in Albuquerque for that one, and my roommate had a bunch of guys over. I think it was like somebody's bachelor party, so they got the fight, 1997, and that was the one where you didn't even get to see the fight because Tyson bit Holyfield's ear, and now what? Now it's just chaos. What about the fight? There wasn't a knockout. There wasn't like some, oh, my God, that was over so quick. That was awesome. No, it was over so quick because Tyson lost his mind.
Yeah.
I tell you what almost was Super Bowl 51 in Houston. That was 51, right, against the Falcons?
Okay, yes.
Okay.
That's right.
Because that was the one where I had been gone for 2 weeks from home. On the Drive for 5 bus.
The bus trip. That's right.
For the week before Radio Row week. And so much had been devoted to this. And then during Radio Row week, doing 4 hours of radio every day with Zoe and Beetle. And then doing, I think that was the week. No. I wasn't. I can't remember if I was doing the TV with or the Patriots.com thing with them, whatever. There was just so much leading up to it, and I hadn't seen my wife in almost 2 weeks. I'm like, why don't you come out for the game? I've got the hardest part taken care of is the hotel and the tickets. All you got to do is get the flight. We'll come on out and we'll get a chance to hang out for a couple of days. I've been home. Mm-hmm. You've been home with the kids all this time. See if your mom can watch the kids and all that. And at halftime of that game, we had taken a team sponsored bus because we were at one of the team hotels. We were like out on that energy corridor in Houston, like with the cheerleaders and support staff. Like we're way far away from the stadium. So we had taken a bus to get to the stadium super early for the, quote unquote tailgate. And we've been given passes to the post game party. And the first bus going back to the hotel wasn't until midnight. So, we're sitting there. We get there super early. We go into the game, and they're sitting there at halftime going, oh, my God. I've devoted 2 weeks of my life to this. This is the worst night ever. This is so bad. And, like, the thought of having to go to that after party and sit there for at least a couple hours before we could get the first bus back to the hotel. The experience both in that one night. Like, this is the worst thing ever.
It's the
followed
best
by
night ever.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was
Well, John, you must have been about a spry 45-year-old when the Patriots lost to the Bears in the Super Bowl.
Oh,
that was supposed to be a
Truth be told, I might have been in college. I might have been in college.
What year
for
was
that
it? It was
Super Bowl.
85.
It was February 86.
86, right, 85 season.
Yeah.
So were you in college? Yes.
I was in college. I was in college. Yeah.
1986.
I was in
Okay.
college. That's
All
how
right.
old I am.
That's great.
Oh, God, you suck.
All right. You're fine. Bill Koch going to join us, talk some more about your Boston Red Sox surging.
No.
That's
next hour.
Oh, that's right. I'm
It's
sorry.
What's brewing with RJ.
I had it.
That's what we're doing.
I had it flipped. Yes, we need to find out what's been going on this offseason with your Boston Bruins and some rumors about some things that maybe were almost happened but didn't happen. But RJ will fill us in here this morning on Toucher and Hardy. Hold on.
You're listening.
Ryan Johnston here with us as he is enjoying his summer. The Bruins will not be back to work. When did they start reassembling? It's
captain's practices in early September.
There's not a lot of.
Jesus God.
It's a shorter preseason this year because of the elongated regular season.
I don't care.
So.
You have been off since mid-April, correct? End of April?
No, that's when the regular season ended.
No.
Playoffs
end
went
of
beyond
April.
that.
First round was over by what? May 1st?
Somewhere in that, something like that.
And you still have 7 weeks to go before things start happening again?
Yeah, pretty much.
Wow.
Probably. Yeah, I mean, it probably looks something like Pasternak, Peterka, and Zaka.
Okay.
But then, so that leaves a second line. Is Fraser Minton ready to play second line?
Well, I'm betting, and again, you're the expert, so you go on this, but I would bet this would be the year they watch Minton try it as the number 2 center.
I will also tell you that second half of last season, his points dried up big time. Mm-hmm. So, if he wants to be, or if he's going to be in that position, he's going to have to put up points.
Yep.
Say what you will about Elias Lindholm, but at least you're going to get 50-ish points out of him, assuming he's healthy. So, is Minton at the level of being able to do that yet? They kind of, brought him along slowly last year, and like I said, second half of the season, the points weren't really there. So
Nick Goss of NBC Sports Boston had projected Fraser Minton as your top line center.
Oh, I don't know about
That's
that.
not happening.
No chance.
Not out of training camp.
You move Zaka down to the second line, and then that way you've got boom boom. You get a little boom boom going on those top two lines.
Well, let's stop with Zaka for a second. He's entering the last year of his contract,
yes.
Correct? Is he a guy that you go 8 years and $80 million on?
I wouldn't go that long.
Well,
that's the issue.
Is that what you're going to have to, though?
So, with the new CBA, it's now 7 years would be the max.
All right,
but
7 and 70.
No.
Okay.
No. And listen, I know with the cap rising and some of the contracts, the Leo Carlson deal, that Philadelphia forced Anaheim into, is now resetting the market for everybody. And I like Zacha, but like I saw somebody the other day say like he could be now $9.5 million a year.
Crazy.
That just seems like a real lot of money.
Because he just found himself. He's never been this player before.
He had one of his best years of his career this past year. I like a lot of what he brings, but that's a lot of money to commit when theoretically you have Minton who will rise up the lineup. Hagens at some point is going to be a center. You got Letourneau coming, in the next year or two. You've got that's a lot to commit to a guy, and a long-term amount to commit to a guy who may or may not actually be in your long-term plans.
All right, a couple of things. I want to get to the defense because Ryan has a good story about that. But first and foremost, the defenseman they got from the New York Rangers, they traded, I think, a second and a conditional third to the Rangers for Borgen. I only know what I read, and what I read is he's a stay-at-home defenseman, solid but not spectacular, and he should land in your top four.
Yes. He's going to kill penalties for you. I've seen other people compare. It's a Brandon Carlo type player.
Okay.
Not costing you. I mean, he's only making 4.1. You've got him under contract for 5 more years. So he's cheap value. If he can give you, he can be a minutes eater, take some of the pressure off of McAvoy, particularly when they're killing penalties. They needed right shot D. They got him. They brought in Connor Clifton back. I think Borgen, I don't know him that well, but he's one of those guys that
none of us had.
Right. I know they really liked him in Seattle when he was playing with the Kraken. He ended up getting traded about middle of season before last to the Rangers. Didn't really fit in New York, but nobody really fit in New York. That was a bad hockey team last year. So he's still a young guy too. He's in his late 20s. So you're getting him in his prime years at fairly cheap money. He can be a top 4, kind of shut down D-man for you, hopefully. I think that's a good addition. They didn't give up, a tremendous amount for it. So.
And one other thing, the Bruins were rumored for a while to be interested in Darnell Nurse, who is an assistant captain in Edmonton, an assistant captain in Edmonton. By all accounts, a really good player, but making $8 or $9 million a year. The Bruins are one of the teams that he would waive his no-trade clause for, whatever. But they were linked to him for a while, and you said something off the air that I'm curious about, and maybe I'm the only one that missed it. The two sides, Edmonton and the Bruins, were close to a deal?
They had a deal, is the report. So I saw this while I was over in Europe, and I didn't know how much play it got here, but it didn't seem like it got any.
Did it? No, it did not. Okay.
David Pagnotta, who's a legit reporter.
Right. No, I'm aware of him.
Reported that the Bruins and the Oilers had a deal in place for Darnell Nurse to come to Boston.
Would have been a really good addition, too.
Yeah, I don't love his cap figure, but, you could have made it work. He's making over $9 million. It's a lot of money.
But the player on this roster would have been really good.
Certainly would help. Apparently, part of the deal was that the Bruins were going to trade someone who has trade protection off of their roster. And whoever that player was said, nope, not going to Edmonton.
And that player reportedly was Zadorov?
Okay, so this is where that kind of falls apart, okay? I have not seen any legitimate reporter who said who has been willing to go out there and name which player it is. There was one person who is, I don't know how much of this was accurate. I don't know how much of it was speculation, who claimed that they had sources saying that it was Zadorov. I don't know that. I don't know. I don't know that I buy that. I don't know that it makes a heck of a lot of sense.
If it's
honestly.
True, he's not gonna take that well.
Yeah, I wouldn't think so.
No.
But so here are the guys who have some level of trade protection currently on the Bruins.
Okay.
Pasta.
They weren't trading him.
Geeky.
They weren't trading him.
McAvoy.
Weren't trading him.
Swayman.
Weren't trading him.
Hampus Lindholm.
I bet you they would if they could.
Right. Elias Lindholm.
They would if they could.
And then you've got partial no trades for Middlestat, Zaka, Tanner Jeannot's got trade protection, Zadorov partial, and Borgen partial, and you just got him.
You just got him.
I don't
think they trade
that's the
Zaka.
list.
They're not trading Zaka either. But all right.
Well, if you weren't going to lock him up long term, then
Yeah.
there, at some point he becomes trade bait. But
all right.
But that's the list of potentially. But Elliot Friedman confirmed the other day that Boston had a deal for Nurse, and it got spiked by a no trade clause.
Tim has a quick question for you, Ryan. Go ahead, Tim.
Ryan, you know my love for Don Sweeney, and I want to ask you: is this a slow rebuild where he's just going to basically drop pieces and add pieces, or is he going young like he always said he was?
I think it's a combination. I really do. I mean, I think, you bring in pieces when you can get them in the trade market or free agency, like they did with Borgen, getting a trade done. I think, some of the others is, you're going to wait, right? I mean, we'll see what Hagen's is when training camp starts this year. We'll see, how Minton is. We'll see Letourneau when he eventually gets here. I think you also need to look at the construction of the roster as a whole right now and say some of these defensemen still need to get traded. Like, you've got way too many bodies on the back end right now.
You got 8 guys for 6 spots. Is that fair?
You got more like 10.
Really?
I mean,
I forgot about Harris.
Mason Lohrei doesn't have a spot in your top 6 right now, in my eyes. I mean, that's a guy that you should be able to get something for.
I would think you'd be able to trade Mason Lohrei. You can convince people.
Right. I mean, he's got offensive upside.
Yeah.
I played significantly better this past year when they moved him to the right side. Mm-hmm. Kind of settled him down. You've got Aspero, who's a cheap money player and turned into something this year. You've got Frederick Brunet from Providence. Don Sweeney talked him up a lot in his press conference a couple of weeks ago. So you've got a lot of bodies,
right?
And I think it sounds like they want to give Brunet a shot. So if that's the case, if he's going to be up to start the season, that's another spot that you need to clear.
All right, let's step aside here. We'll get an update here from Ryan Johnston. We'll probably give us another celebrity birthday and then find out what Wallach was doing last week. We'll do that next. Hold on.
Sports Hub headlines.
It's Toucher and Hardy without Fred this morning, but Wallach is back and Ryan Johnston is here. Wallach back from his European vacation, which how many countries in Europe did you visit, John?
Just the one. Just England. Just England. We were in London the whole week.
What was the purpose of going to London in the first place?
It had been a while since my wife and I had been. The kids had never been, and it's kind of like that trip to Paris. April vacation of last year, kind of mixed that in by going to see my sister who lives in Luxembourg. It's just an experience we wanted the kids to have.
And were they looking forward to the trip?
There were certain things my kids were looking forward to.
Like what?
They wanted to go. The London Eye was a big thing for them. You know, the big Ferris wheel. They wanted to do that. What else did they want to do? One of my kids still likes Harry Potter, so we spent one morning going to Warner Brothers Studios. They have a big Harry Potter thing where they filmed all the Harry Potter movies, and we went out there. It's like a 3 or 4 hour tour.
Is that the one where they take you down the very narrow alleyway?
Diagon Alley is what it's called.
Yes. Okay. So we did that.
Yeah, actually, big sets that were there, like the Great Hall where they filmed all the eating scenes. That's life size. So, but my wife is into it too, so we went and did that for a morning, and one of my children is very excited about that, and another child was excited to go to Wimbledon, like I was.
Okay. So now, Ryan, I don't know if you are aware of what John ended up doing.
I did see a couple of Instagram posts.
So knowing that they were going to London during Wimbledon, and this is somewhat news to me that one of your children was actually looking forward to going to Wimbledon, and you too wanted to go to Wimbledon.
Yep, I did.
Ryan, let me put it to you this way. What would you do if you were going to London and there were at least two of you who wanted to go to Wimbledon? What would you do before you went to London?
I would probably go online and buy some tickets.
To Wimbledon?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
John, what did you do?
I did not do that because tickets were outrageously expensive.
Was there ever a thought of just you and the one kid who wanted to go going and the other two not going?
No, that was never a thought. My wife was pretty interested in going also. So if three of us were going to go, the fourth one was going to go also, regardless of what he was.
All right. How much were the tickets when you looked ahead of time?
I think it was at least 300 pounds a seat, at least.
How? I thought you were going to say, what's the pound to dollar conversion right now?
The dollar does not do well against the pound.
Okay, how many dollars is 300 pounds?
It's like
400. Yeah, $400 US.
Yes.
Okay.
Which I just spent, by the way, to go to that World Cup game with Norway against Iraq.
Right, which you don't care about.
Not nearly as much.
Okay.
No.
But this you do care about.
Well, had I not spent the $1,200 beforehand, I probably would have spent it on seats to go to Wimbledon. But we looked at it,
after you spent,
four of us.
Presumably, let's call it a soft, I'm going to say $6,000 in airfare.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And another, two rooms?
We got a hotel room in a refurbished apartment complex. So it was 2 rooms and a fold-out couch. And
can't hide money
where we stayed. Yes.
Let's call it another.
By the way, no air conditioning.
Oh yeah,
no air conditioning, and we were there for one of the hottest weeks in London.
Let's call it
all
another
year.
$5,000 on the hotel.
We should have spent more for air conditioning.
So you're into 5 figures already,
easily,
and you're not spending an extra $1,600 on Wimbledon tickets.
Well, sure. With hindsight, it looks bad.
Okay, so what did you do?
We got there at about 7:45 in the morning, and the Wimbledon people put you out in this big field with, I don't know if you saw the Instagram post, thousands of other people waiting in line.
How close to the actual Wimbledon the tennis club are these fields?
It's right across the street.
Okay.
It's right across the street.
All right.
So we got there at 7:45, got our place in line. They give you like passes. Okay, everyone's numerical passes, and you got to stay in order. And then after 4 hours, we started moving towards the actual grounds. And they put you put you through
4
this. I know.
hours.
Wait, it gets better. You put you through these S curves, and then you're walking for another easily 45 minutes, where they stop you for a bag check and a bomb sniffing dog. You put all your bags down, a bomb sniffing dog goes through. Finally, after about 5 hours, we physically had purchased our grounds passes and were on the ground.
How much were the grounds passes when you purchased them?
€33, which is like $40 thereabouts.
Yeah, it's like $1.15 per euro.
But about $40 a piece.
Okay. So instead of 1,600, you spent 160.
Correct.
All right. So you saved significant money
Yes.
there. But how many hours in line?
5 total. And when we got in there, we had realized that all the singles matches that were supposed to be on the outer courts, well, it's the second Monday of Wimbledon. There weren't as many singles players. All the singles matches were in court 1 or center court, neither of which we had access to.
You had access to what then?
Oh, we had access to the outer courts, courts 3 through 18. All of them were doubles. All of them.
And that's what you want to see, those doubles matches.
So if you go to like your local town, like tennis courts, basketball courts, things like that,
Yeah.
it's pretty much what you paid this money to go and sit around, right?
I could have watched 2 guys play in a park.
Right.
It's like watching pickleball.
Seriously, I could have watched pickleball and had as much fun. Now, I would go back, but I'm going to spend out of my ass to watch. I'll park myself at center court or court number 1 for an afternoon and do that. Either that or I'm never camping out for 5 hours again. That's just not happening.
See, this is like, to me, like you took the family on a trip to London. You're spending a week over there.
Yeah.
I look at we're going to do one day at Wimbledon as like, this is like an event. This is the once in a lifetime opportunity.
And that's the way I sold it. It's kind of like in golf going to the Masters, I think. It's one of those hallowed grounds, a place you want to go visit. And I did, but unfortunately it was 93 degrees outside. I wasn't going to see any of the singles. So my joy of being on the grounds lasted maybe 20 minutes. And then it's 90 degrees outside with no shade and nothing to watch.
But that's why you ante up the $1,600 and go to like actually buy the tickets that you can have. Like if it's a once in a lifetime experience, like spend the money.
I should have
spend the money.
I absolutely should have. But one other thing happened to me, Hardy, that you in particular will appreciate. We took a tour out to as part of a larger tour. We wound up at Stonehenge for a day, for a period of time. There's one guy that is part of this, and he drove us out there. His name is Avo, and we had a very pleasant conversation.
You
with
have
Avo.
you have an English Daniel?
Yeah. That's what I'm getting to.
Did you now? Was this a guy you just hired through Uber, or was
No, it's part of a tour package. You get like 2 of these or 3 of these during the week, where a car will take you around to certain spots. This was part of it. A trip to Stonehenge, and then on the way back, a stop at a castle that Henry VIII stayed in, whatever. But the key is that Abel and my family, we had a pleasant conversation. The kids talked to him about soccer and the World Cup, and he's a huge England football fan, and he had knowledge of Stonehenge and knowledge of the court. And we were with him for about 6 or 7 hours, and we said our goodbyes, and I thought that was quite nice. I got a text yesterday.
No, you didn't.
From Avo.
No, you didn't.
Jonathan, it was a pleasure. Let me get my glasses off here. Jonathan, it was a pleasure meeting you and your lovely family on Wednesday and our trip. I hope you had a great flight back. Please say congratulations to your wife for the win of Sinner over Djokovic. My wife is Italian, Sinner's Italian. And today over Zverev, even though I didn't want Zverev to win, I hope I see you guys back again soon. My best regards to all. And he sent us a bunch of pictures that we had taken, and including some with him, which I will show you in a moment. And I said, it was great to meet you. We all had a great time. Thanks for everything. Congrats to England, et cetera, et cetera. And he goes, I don't like England in the next match against Argentina. They're going to favor Lionel Messi. I'll keep you posted. But I have a relationship now with Avo.
And isn't it a wonderful feeling knowing that you have a real friend?
Yeah.
A capital F friend.
Have you heard from Daniel recently?
Let me know if and when you come back.
Christmas card, anything?
I hope to see you.
We keep tabs on each other. social media and whatnot. No personal text, but we keep in touch.
I have a British Daniel.
That's fantastic. I'm so happy for you. You get it now, don't you?
I do.
Yeah.
All that time I made fun of you.
Yeah.
I do. I get it now.
You totally get it. All right.
Yeah.
My daughter was also in London the same week
Oh.
you were there. And I kept asking her, did you see Wallach? Did you see Wallach? No, but if I do, I'm going to be nice to him. You guys are so mean to him.
My wife and I were in a bar in Italy the day that John had posted that he was in line at Wimbledon, and like Wimbledon is on behind the bar, and it's like we're looking in the crowd. It's like, have you seen Wallach
chance.
anywhere?
No. You weren't going to see me. The best question I got, because I was on live with the guys that day, best question I got is, have you seen any celebrities? And I said, there are no celebrities to hang out at court 18 for women's doubles.
Yeah.
I have no chance.
Wait 5 hours in a field for their tickets.
No.
All right. We have news. We'll get to that coming up. Hold on.
Stay tuned for more Toucher and Hardy on the Sports Hub.
Baseball season is in full swing. You can trade every game on Kalshi. You can trade every game, futures, even the all-star events. But if you're talking about the hottest team in baseball right now, that would be your Boston Red Sox. Can you believe there's only one? Did you get to see Gentleman Jim Corbett fight when you were in high school, Don?
Oh, you're such a riot, Hardy.
James J. Braddock. Did you see him take on who was it?
Hey, I'm
Primo
trying
Carnera?
to be serious there. I'm trying to be serious. I didn't see either in person, but I saw one on TV, and the other one I saw film clips. And I had divided loyalties because it was a Brookline firefighter, Paul Pender, and, of course, the great Sugar Ray. There should never be another Sugar Ray. Sugar Ray Leonard, Sugar Ray the musician. Never. It was Sugar Ray Robinson. We hit the triumvirate.
Thank you, Don. I appreciate the call. Good to hear from you. Yes,
why you got to do Mark McGrath like that?
Between Sugar Ray Robinson, Sugar Ray Leonard, and the band Sugar Ray, we've capped. We're all done.
Weren't they on that cruise you did?
Well, they weren't actually on the cruise when we were docked in Key West. They came on board the ship, performed, and then they left. That's right. Always good to hear from Don from Carver.
He called me a nice old guy.
Why would he do that?
I don't know.
I'm not a nice old guy in the alleyway if you confront me. He's a punk.
Don and Carver kick your ass.
How long was he on hold?
Don?
41 minutes.
Okay.
Not bad. That
was good.
All right, let's get to the news. Here we go.
We interrupt this program for breaking news. I can't use it. Newsflash.
We're going to start with a story that has been making the rounds. Man, I think everybody's algorithm has been filled with this. It has to be because I've received so many different versions of this same story, and it's pretty much the same video over and over again.
These are the heart-stopping moments. A grandfather was attacked by a bison at Yellowstone National Park.
Ryan, why are you laughing? This is a grandfather, and he's viciously attacked.
Every once in a while a story comes along that reminds me of, here's a way that I can guarantee that I'm not going to leave this earth. And this would be one of them.
What if one of them...
being attacked by a bison.
Okay. You and your wife travel a lot. Have you been to Yellowstone?
Have not.
Okay. Would you consider going?
Not really my thing.
Okay. But what if your wife wanted to go? You would go.
Not really her thing either, but sure.
No. If you got out there and the bison correctly identified you as somebody who's into exotic meats and said, hey, that's the guy who's been smoking bison burgers.
You ever have a bison burger? Pretty tasty.
One time I did.
Yeah.
I'd rather just have beef.
Yeah, I would agree with you, but a good bison steak.
But there's a bit of gaminess to it that you don't get in beef.
Yeah. It's very lean.
Yeah, I don't need that.
The dramatic video posted online by a professional photographer shows a bison, which can weigh more than 1,500 pounds, charging after the 65-year-old, flipping him into the air.
Now, if you've seen this video, you see the grandfather and presumably the grandmother off to the side, and they're looking at this bison that is just losing its bison mind.
Yeah, it's not like the bison's just standing there.
No,
he's
the bison...
like thumping the ground, and he's not all there, and I don't understand if you see an animal in the wild flipping out, why you would stand within 100 yards of that thing. And it's not like this guy is a track star. So even there has to be some kind of process that says, okay, if this animal gets up, can I get away from it?
Yes, an agitated bison. Nicholas, is a bison the same thing as a buffalo? Are they synonymous, bison and buffalo?
I thought they were, but then when I looked up buffalo earlier this morning, they were showing me other images of that didn't look like what I thought was.
Could you quickly tell me the difference between bison and buffalo, Nicholas? Nicholas?
Yes?
Could you quickly tell me the difference between bison and buffalo? I truly want to know.
The antlers, I'm assuming?
Okay. Is it antlers? Is he correct, Ryan?
No.
Okay. What's a bison and what's a buffalo?
In North America, they are used interchangeably.
Okay. They're the same thing.
Right.
Okay.
So it was a trick question.
What the hell is that? The
What are you
buffalo
doing?
is the American bison. It is.
So
I didn't know. I really
didn't
wanted
know
to
that.
know.
You didn't know that. You just wanted to make Nick look bad.
I thought Nick would know.
Jesus, he doesn't get enough of this already. You try to trap him with this stuff.
Nick also has a sleeve on his leg today.
I do.
Why? Why do you have a sleeve
Because
on
my
your leg?
calf is just killing me. Both of my calves hurt.
Why?
I don't know. Because maybe I'm turning like 40 in
Boy,
a couple of weeks.
That must suck.
Yeah.
So your calf is sore for no discernible reason.
I don't know. I think I was walking around a lot on Saturday.
Oh, you're walking.
And then I started aching yesterday.
He's carrying around a lot just
now
north
I
of
woke
the
up
calf.
this morning and it hurt even more.
He's
Like everything sucks.
Nick has a low center of gravity. That's part of the problem.
And you had a calf sleeve at the ready?
I did. Yes.
Why?
From an injury a couple of years ago.
How did you injure it a couple of years ago?
It was actually. It's not so funny, but I woke up in the middle of the night and apparently my house was on fire. It was caught on fire.
Wait a minute.
And I tried putting it out and I slipped on water.
Hold it. Stop.
This is like an Adolfo story.
Stop. I've known you for a long time.
Yes.
I have never heard that story. You have never told
It
any of
happened
us
while
that story.
I was working on the show. It's like 2016.
Okay.
But you never mentioned it in 2016.
I did.
When? You never brought this up.
I was still new. I didn't know you
I
well
would
enough.
remember. You didn't.
Did you mention
to
it?
Fred?
Did
or-
you talk about it on the air?
No. Your house caught on fire.
What was on fire?
And you didn't bring this up.
I was smoking at the time, and it was like 9 o'clock. I went out for a butt.
Ryan perked up for a moment. He's like, "What? What were you smoking? You had a brisket?"
So, like, it was right before bed. I had a cigarette. I went to the front deck area, and then I put it out, but it was in a flower pot. So there was, like, dirt and stuff in there too. So a couple of hours later, I woke up to get something to eat, shockingly, but I wasn't sleeping here. Anyways, I woke up, and I looked at the window, and outside there was, like, flames coming out of this flower pot, which was starting to spread very quickly. And I'm like, oh, crap, this is not good. So I brilliant me, got a bowl and tried to douse the fire. And I slipped and fell really hard on the water.
You pulled a calf
I
muscle,
accidentally, like,
throwing water at a fire.
Yeah, then I called 911 because it was spreading really bad.
You caught the dirt on fire?
Yeah.
You set dirt on fire.
Yeah. And it was a few hours later. It was really weird.
I'm at a loss.
So
what are you
I
saying?
derailed this whole segment. I'm sorry.
No.
I think you've improved it.
10 years ago,
yes.
you injured yourself heroically fighting a fire in your own outside your own home.
Yeah, like my lower part of my leg really blew up. I hit it in in an angle, and it started blowing up. There was a giant ball.
You never brought this up. I would have remembered this.
At that point, did you see a doctor?
Yeah, no, EMS, the paramedics came. I called 911.
Well, when you call 911, they show
yeah.
up.
What happened?
I got treated right there. They said I didn't really.
They just throw a sleeve on it. You'll be fine.
Yeah.
Did they give you the sleeve?
No, I bought it.
Okay.
They recommended that I should buy a sleeve.
Okay. What is interesting to me is that 10 years later, you still had that sleeve.
Amazingly enough, I just still have the sleeve. Yeah.
Yeah, and you just slapped it right back on there. Now, 10 years have gone by. You have not gotten more svelte, as we all age and, things change. Is it a little
snug?
Snugger
so
than
much.
you remember?
Not so much.
Okay, it's because it's supposed to be snug.
Yeah.
His
It's
legs have
pretty snug.
atrophied to the point where it still fits.
Oh, I don't think there's any atrophy going on in that lower half. I think it's just getting
Nick,
juicier
I
and
tried.
juicier.
I just saying that the Cavs are having trouble holding up the enormous butt above
You
it.
said, you know what? You said something a couple of weeks ago, asking me if my legs shave. I was walking this weekend,
Like your inner thighs.
my inner thighs.
Yeah.
And I think of the way I was walking.
Yeah.
And I felt like a shave, And I instantly thought of you saying that. Now it's constantly in my head.
You're going to have to get a little holster and carry around just a small travel size Gold Bond triple medicated powder.
Some lubricant of some
No,
kind.
you don't know. You know what? You go the opposite. You try and keep it dry.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. Very good.
His
Nick.
house
Thank
caught
you.
on fire 10 years ago. It's the first we've heard of it.
All right. Back to the bison
Okay.
or buffalo.
Professional photographer shows a bison which can weigh more than 1,500 pounds, charging after the 65-year-old, flipping him into the air. You see the man and his grandchild stop to take photos of the bison. Seconds later, the massive mammal then charges, chasing the family around trees before the man is thrown multiple feet into the air, seriously injuring him.
Okay, so if you've seen the video, that is my favorite part. When the buffalo really goes nuts and starts chasing them through the trees. And I'll give them credit. They did exactly what I would have done. You're just playing hide and go seek with a buffalo.
You ring around a rosy. You're on the opposite side of this enormous tree.
Well,
And
there's
stay that way.
multiple trees and they're trying to get around it. But this buffalo, then he just starts plowing over these trees. And some of them are saplings, but some of them are, sizable. You're talking, to borrow from Tommy Lee Jones, 1,500 pounds, very pissed off livestock.
Look out, bison! The grandfather is lucky to
Look out, bison.
As if he didn't notice that it was coming at him.
Also a phrase that you'd never thought you'd have to utter in your life.
before the man is thrown multiple feet into the air, seriously injuring him. Look out, bison! The grandfather is lucky to be alive. Millions of people visit Yellowstone every year to see the park's famous wildlife. Unfortunately, this is not the first time we've seen bison charging tourists.
As for that 65-year-old, he was hospitalized and is recovering from his injuries. Now, Yellowstone National Park warns people to keep at least 25 yards away from bison at all times. And if too close, you are warned to retreat immediately.
Well, yeah.
He tried to.
Yeah.
And it looked like he was 25 yards away.
Yeah. He was easily 25 yards away.
And bison can cover 25 yards pretty quickly.
Yeah.
I would think. You
maybe
see
up
Dances
that
with
to
Wolves?
Maybe up that to 100. I think maybe 100 yards would be safer.
Maybe, like people who go on safari and whatnot, you're in like a vehicle. So if, something charges you, at least you have some measure of protection around you.
I got news for you. I ain't doing that either. I've seen too many of those videos where the elephant gets pissed off, a giraffe, anything that long. We've all seen the video of the guy in the boat and the hippo starts swimming after him.
Yeah.
And apparently the hippos kill more people than any other animal you're going to encounter in Africa. No thanks. I don't need any of it. At a zoo, yes. Anywhere else, like out in their environment, no thanks.
I just don't understand why a grandfather who knows he's not lightning quick, when the animal starts to lose control and get frustrated, would not immediately retreat. The guy stood there, watched the bison freak out.
Okay, so
and then once the bison got to his feet and started at him, then he started moving.
Here's what we have to consider. Maybe this grandfather was like my grandfather, and that the buffalo or bison was not agitated until he showed up. My grandfather used to agitate the chimps and the gorillas at the Detroit Zoo to the point where they asked him to stop going. Because he would stand there and stare at them, and they would lose their minds. Read Bailey Poole. And he had a way with animals, and it was a way that the animals did not like. You just look at them.
So he never went on safari. He
No.
never went off into the wilderness.
And you got to be careful around them because they will throw stuff.
Oh, yeah.
The
monkeys especially.
Yeah.
Yeah. You don't want to miss that.
I was there one day at a zoo where a gorilla, because they say don't make eye contact with the gorilla. Somebody made eye contact with the gorilla. Gorilla proceeded to do something into his hand and fling it.
Yeah.
And this mother holding her toddler took it right off the dome.
And you witnessed this.
They were 5 feet away from me.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah. Oh, it was all I could do to keep from doubling over laughing.
I wish I was there to see that.
Yeah.
That's
it's like time to move along.
Yeah. Time to get back away from the cage.
I wonder if the girl is trying to hit the kid. And it's like, I want to throw my poo. I'm going to hit these people, but how am I going to upset them the most? Oh, if I hit the baby.
Yeah.
If I hit the baby, then I'm really going to prove my point. All right, very good. Appreciate that. We are going to hear from Bill Koch here in a moment. He's going to talk to us about what's going on with the Red Sox. And Adolfo set to join us also at 9 as Doughboys are back. And Adolfo's a big fan, so we're going to just hand him the reins and let him do his Adolfo best.
Oh, boy.
It'll be fine.
No, it won't.
Yeah, it's going to be
No,
great.
it really won't.
All right, it's all coming up here on Toucher and Hardy.
Toucher and Hardy.
help us understand things like why are the Red Sox complicating things, or are they, Bill? Is that should we be confused, or should they not complicate matters based on this recent run they've been on?
Well, now it's a matter of perception. Do you believe that they're the 32-46 team that started the year, or do you believe that they're the team that's 14-2 in their last 16? Depending on which vision you'd like to sell, yes, it is a lot more complicated than it was a couple weeks ago.
It has to be, and it also, this is where you start thinking about as a GM and as an executive. We may all come to the agreement that, no, they're more like the team that started this season, and that this, even in terms of analytics, this is anomalous. This is not what this team is. But you still have fans that you want to get into Fenway Park for the rest of the season, and if they were going to be massive sellers before the deadline, are they going to sell to the same extent, or do they now feel obligated to serve that fan base and to keep people coming out?
Yeah, I don't think this can go anywhere near a fire sale now. You look at 2 or 3 weeks ago, and you're talking about trading Wilson Contreras and trading Sonny Gray and trading Aroldis Chapman and maybe putting Garrett Whitlock, in trade conversations and maybe going even deeper than that. And I don't think we're anywhere near that now. I think we're certainly at the point where the needle is a lot closer to buy. If you look at Baseball Reference right now, their playoff odds are over 50% as we sit here this morning. They are now back into the wild card chase within striking distance of one of those 3 berths. So I certainly think that the needle is trending toward a place that the fans would actually want, which is to make this team more of a contender.
Ultimately, an argument can be made if somehow this team gets into the playoffs, they would be a pain in the ass to get rid of, because if everyone is healthy, that rotation's tough to face, especially in a short series, let alone a 7-game series. Do you think that the Red Sox can delude themselves into a full bye? And if that's the case, do you think Robot Breslow can manage his way through that?
That is one factor that we don't necessarily know and that we might not know before the deadline, and that's Craig Breslow's future. Whatever discussions are going on behind the scenes on Jersey Street, we'll never really know how safe his job is. Sam Kennedy or anybody else there aren't going to come out and tell us, yes, he's definitely staying, or no, he's definitely not. If he feels like he's under pressure, that might affect the decisions he makes going into the deadline. He might be more likely to make a stronger acquisition just to try to save himself. So I would think that is certainly a factor here. But, to your point, they pitch well. They're still last in the league in home runs, and power at the plate plays in the playoffs. That's a major factor. You saw it last year against the Yankees. They got dominated at the plate for the majority of that 3-game series. So that is a major hole still, even in this recent stretch, and that's something that would need to be addressed if you really want to make a run at this thing in October.
How many of the players playing right now will be a part of the everyday lineup when we get to August and September?
Yeah, that's fascinating, because if you look at the start of the year, you had guys who are actively hurting them who have negative WAR, according to Fangraphs right now. Guys like Trevor Story, who's hurt. Mickey Gasper has been sent down. Marcelo Meyer, who's hurt. And those guys were getting regular time, regular at-bats. Some of them, in prime spots in the lineup. Gasper is batting leadoff. Trevor Story's hitting second. You're looking at a guy like Anthony Siegler, who's really taking his chance. Plays the game hard, gives a little bit of energy. Does that have a shelf life? I tend to think it does. I think, there's a saying in European soccer, form is fleeting and class is permanent. And you've got guys who are sort of plugging gaps here, but can they do it over a larger sample, and can they do it against elite opposition in October? I'm not necessarily convinced of that, and I hope that the Red Sox would look for alternatives if they really think that they can get deep into the season and still be contending.
Because I'm looking at the lineup yesterday, guys. There are at least 4 guys from yesterday who shouldn't be in a Major League uniform. and they're playing every day for this team. You know, Wong, Eaton, Monasterio, Siegler, none of these guys were part of the Red Sox plan. And here they are contributing not just a little, but a lot to a 9-game winning streak. So I think this is all a mirage. I think they'll settle right back to where they should be. But the problem is it won't be until after the deadline, which will fool everybody. So
no, and at this point, I would just be content to ride the wave. They're going to give us a summer here, the way this is trending, and I think we'll find out a lot more once they come out of the All-Star break. They got a 10-game homestand. The Rays coming in for 4, the Orioles for 3, and the Blue Jays for 3. That's all American League East opponents. It'll be interesting to see if the break comes at a bad time for them. If ultimately they can't sustain this, but I certainly think this is the most positive you should feel about the team, maybe since opening day, because that's the only other time that they've been over 500. They were 1-0 and then, sunk under. Right now they're as close to that as they've been in a while.
Are you watching the Home Run Derby tonight? Wilson Contreras is a part of it, but that's not the reason I bring this up. The Home Run Derby's on Netflix. Are you watching the Home Run Derby tonight?
I may check it out just to see if Kyle Schwarber hits one out of the stadium. The fact that he declared that he was going to be part of it makes me a lot more interested, because the guy is like Paul Bunyan at the plate. It's just crazy power. And the crowd in Philadelphia is going to pop out for him and for Bryce Harper. So, I'd be compelled to watch while they're up. But as an event, I don't necessarily see myself sitting there and watching the whole 2 hours.
What's the reason for them going away from the timed aspect of the Home Run Derby and going back to just a number of swings that you get as a means to, I guess, engage in this exercise that already took way too long to begin with, and now you can only think it's going to take even longer than it was when they were doing a timed event?
Well, I haven't spoken to anyone about this, but these would just be a couple things that I think. First, I like seeing where the ball lands. It's a home run derby.
Okay.
I want to see it land 500 feet in the third deck. And because it's timed, you're cutting away from the actual homer to the next pitch. I think part of the point is to see the power that these guys have and have them show it off.
That is true. There's no time to really kind of soak it in when a guy hits a deep one, because he's already swung at the next pitch.
It's already a cutaway. It's bad television in my mind. The second thing I think is you look at the players by the end of this thing, they were gassed. These guys are just up there hacking, taking swings, 40, 50 swings in a round, and they're trying to do that 2 or 3 times in a night. I think it was a lot on the players. And I think if you say to them, look, this is going to be kind of limited, it's not going to be a very heavy lift, you're going to be able to get up there and sort of take your time and enjoy it. I think that might help them recruit bigger names into the home run derby. I think that might be why you get a guy like Schwarber or Bryce Harper to agree to do this.
Is the drop off a thing, Bill? Like for years, we heard about the guys who would participate in the home run derby and then they would tend to slump at the end of July and into
Bobby
August.
Abreu is a famous one.
Yeah, but is it actually a thing?
Maybe. I don't know. Hitting is so mental.
Yeah.
Baseball is so mental that I think if you tell yourself, I did the home run derby and then I come out and I'm 1 for 20 in my next 5 games, it was the derby. Or that becomes the storyline around it. I don't necessarily know if that's a thing. It might be a convenient narrative, but there could be something to it. It's certainly a different format than what you're accustomed to every day when you're taking batting practice.
It wasn't. You remember who won it last year?
No.
No idea.
Cal Raleigh.
That's right.
He didn't tail off during the second half. He was really good. Now, this year is different. But last year he wound up hitting, 55, 60 homers? He
hit 60.
Yeah. Didn't tail off in the second half. He was just fine.
All right, Bill. We appreciate the time. Thank you so much. And I assume you'll also be looking forward to these semifinal World Cup matches.
Oh, yeah.
Had some enjoyable games over the weekend. Again, this World Cup, for as much as I was kind of, I guess, ambiguous about it taking place in the first place. I have found myself watching more of these matches and invested in the outcome way more than I thought. And I think it's because the quality has been good. The drama has been there. There's been reason to watch.
If you look at the 4 teams left and you look at the guys in the running for the Golden Boot, it has delivered in terms of star power. And I think for the casual fan, for people who might dip into soccer once in a while, those are names who you know, those are nations that you know. And I think that's made it a perfect watch for us in this World Cup.
Yeah, excellent. All right, Bill Koch, always good to talk to you. Thank you, Bill. We appreciate it.
Thanks, guys.
All right, there you go.
I happened into a bar in Florence, Italy, where a group of Norwegians settled in to watch the Norway-Brazil game last week. It was phenomenal.
Yeah.
So my daughter and she was over there visiting a friend who was they're doing like a study, and all of the like American kids who don't have much of a dog in the fight, they were most bummed about having to leave. Everybody was leaving on Saturday, wouldn't be there to watch the England match that was taking place there in London.
It's interesting you say that.
I mean, they're taking place here, but watching in London with all the English fans.
All the bars stayed open all night for that match because the match started at 1 a.m. local time.
Yeah.
So all the bars were open all night for the England match.
Maybe that's why she was out so late those nights. My wife's still insisting on tracking her even when she's overseas. Your daughter isn't even back at their room yet. I'm like, don't look. Don't look. She's doing what she should be doing.
She's 19, right?
She's 19.
Yeah.
She's in a place where she can legally drink. She's with friends. They're safe. They're having fun. Stop looking. Don't look. I don't want to know. I want to know that she's safe. And if she is, fine. Good.
You have like a rule about how often she has to check in?
No.
No?
No. There's no. She checks in with her mother all the time. Yeah, I went with her to drop her off at the airport, went to pick her and her friend up at the airport. I'm doing plenty on my own. Do you think I get any check-ins? No. I called her on my way into work a couple of mornings as I was driving in because they were 6 hours ahead. Like last week, I would call her. But when it comes time to like check in and text and call,
no,
always to mommy.
Yeah.
Always call mommy. I'm like, yeah, I'm just the one that'll be there to pick them up at the airport when they get back. That's my job. Otherwise, no speak.
Not that you're bitter.
Otherwise, no speaky. Nothing she wants to tell me, and certainly nothing she wants to hear from me.
You okay?
Zero.
You all right?
That's fine.
It is?
For the most part, I just want to be left alone. So,
truer words have never been spoken.
I guess it's all right. All right. We will have the Doughboys and Adolfo with us at 9, so stick around for that. Very impressive, these two. I'm sitting here eavesdropping on a conversation between Ryan Johnston and John Wallach about their European travels. Do you do a vacation like this every summer now that you're the voice of the Boston Bruins and you have this time, Ryan?
So when I got the job, my wife and I we haven't done a ton of traveling, and neither one of us had ever been outside of North America before this trip to Italy that we just got back from. But when I got the job, my wife is careful with money, which is good because I'm not necessarily.
She handles the butter and egg money. She sets that
it's
aside.
just like she's not exactly a free spender and all that. But I said one of the things that I ask is you got to give me. We're doing at least one major trip a year where we're not going to worry about the cost. Like we're not gonna go overly opulent or anything like that if we can't afford it. But we're gonna so. We stayed in, we didn't stay in 5-star resorts here, but we stayed in 4-star, like nice places. Want to be comfortable while we're there. Want to make sure, so we're not going to skimp is basically it. And so, if we go to London, we're going to buy the tickets to Wimbledon. We're not going to stand in a 5-hour line trying to get the cheap ground passes.
Just save money in the wrong
In fact,
places.
next year. We've already, started talking about potentially what we're going to do, and a UK trip is one of the possibilities. I just entered the ticket lottery for the Open at St. Andrews next year.
Smart.
That will. I told her, you give me one day. Like I'm not, if I'm not going to drag you to 4 days of the tournament because she doesn't really care. But if we get St. Andrews tickets, we're going one day, and we will fold that into our UK adventure.
So that's how I ended up there.
Yeah.
Our one big trip that we did, God, it was 4 years ago now, was I entered the lottery, and I applied for 2 adults, 2 kids, any days. What do you got? And like I do for the Masters every year. By the way, that Masters email should be coming any day now.
Yeah.
You know what? We entered in the lottery as well. I'm waiting on it too.
Whatever. I'm just
Well, you've already been. Don't they factor that in?
No, because
it's a lottery, John.
I went.
It's not like the NBA draft lottery. You get a certain amount of ping pong balls.
No. There are conspiracy theories that if you have been before and acted accordingly, you get slightly weighted if you go out try again.
I don't think it matters because people have won the lottery multiple times. And even if it did, I went on an actual ticket. I didn't win the lottery.
Okay.
The one year I went to the Masters. But so that year we did find out, I think you find out in the fall that you've won tickets for the Open. And
they said between mid-August, mid-September. Yeah.
So and I called my wife. It was at work. I found out like doing the midday show. I'm like, oh, I've got tickets for the we should go. This you always want to go somewhere. You always want to go somewhere. So here's our excuse to go. And 2 adults, 2 kids for the Wednesday practice round and the Thursday opening round. Total all-in cost after the conversion was like $400 because the kids are free. And, it was like, this is awesome. It quickly turned into a 2-week vacation, London for a week, train to Edinburgh, and then you take a train like over to St. Andrews, which I did both days. My family only went one day, but we went with another family, so I went with them the second day, and it was fantastic. So that one, hold out hope. There's a chance.
Oh yeah,
worked for me, and I wanted to do it again, and I almost applied again. Because I got that email too a week ago. I'm like, I already did it. I couldn't handle going back and not playing. That's what I want to do. So now I think I'm going to go all in on that. But that's my wife always wants to go somewhere. And I have one question for her, always. What happens when we get there? I want to go to Spain. Where? What happens when we get there? What are we doing? And I've always said, there's plenty of places in this country that we've never been, either together or as a family. Neither one of us have been there. And she keeps bringing one up. She wants to see the redwoods. She wants to see. She wants to go to the whatever it is.
So that would bring about the question that you just said, which is what happens when we get there?
Yeah, seriously.
Because how long are we staring at the trees?
Those trees are really tall.
See, you get it, and I'm the biggest a-hole in the world because.
And what happens when the bison start charging?
Right, there's got to be bison roaming around in those woods. I'm like, what? We're going to go look at the trees. It's going to be the Clark Griswold looking at the Grand Canyon. Like, yep.
Yeah, that's an hour. Okay,
now
what's
what?
next?
And they're not easy to get to. It's not like they got a major airport 15 minutes from the where the redwoods are planted. So you gotta fly in somewhere. You gotta drive for everything. You get there and it's like, oh wow, big trees. Now what?
Yeah, what vacation can you sculpt around a trip to the redwoods?
I don't know. And
I mean, let's think about this for a second. They are off in the middle of nowhere, but it's a long ass trip to get out there. Wine country's not close. What is it? What is it that you can do after spending an hour looking at big trees?
I so don't want to go look at big trees that I'm considering crazy options. She wants to go somewhere for her 25th wedding anniversary, which will be not this March, but the following March. Like the type of trip that would require some planning. I'm thinking like, all right, we didn't go anywhere this summer. We can put it off for another, so we can really save. We can go someplace crazy. I'm thinking like Tokyo. I'd rather go someplace like the completely other side of the planet rather than go look at trees.
How long is that flight?
I don't know. I don't want to do that either.
You'd have to knock me out. Not to sound too much like Fred, but you'd have to knock me out to send me on a trip to Tokyo and like the hard stuff.
Plus, there's so much seafood. I don't really eat seafood.
That I don't mind. I don't mind that.
But like nothing but for like a week.
I could probably do that. I could.
Oh, I don't think I can do it.
I probably could.
All right, let's step aside here. We'll get Adolfo on. We'll get Mike from the Doughboys on. We'll have a big thing here coming up on Toucher and Hardy.
You're listening to Toucher and Hardy.
It's enough for you to try this again?
Sure, why not?
Okay.
Well, we love Mike Mitchell.
Yes.
Quincy guy, Doughboys, Adolfo. We've been talking about him lately because the big 40th birthday, and there's a party happening. Let's see, a week from Friday at Memoir at Encore, and I think other things to announce here. So let's bring Mitch on right now. Mike Mitchell, podcaster, comedian, writer, and what's going on? How are you, Mitch?
What's going on? Good morning.
Hey, Mitch.
Oh, and Adolfo is ready to go. Ready to go.
Chomping at the bit.
It's a little different this time.
Adolfo, you sound really engaged already. Now, it's different because Fred is not here. But
yeah, so I got to bring it up a little bit.
Okay. All right. So you're going to bring the energy this time. Mitch, the last time you were on with this, Adolfo was on with this, and I believe you two either met up afterward or Adolfo, you ended up going to the live Doughboys show. Is that correct?
Yeah, I went to the show, and we did meet up afterwards. So, yeah.
It's true. Adolfo met my entire family. He met everybody. It was great.
Yeah.
Okay,
we had a good time.
How did that go, Mitch? Because Adolfo, he's not an acquired taste, but he is.
What's that supposed to mean?
What I mean is that, Adolfo, you are a celebrity of sorts, and that you have a big personality, and some people can be put in a position where they feel almost shy around you, or they don't know how to act or what to say. Did everybody get along? Was it a comfortable experience, Mitch?
We had a great time. Adolfo, and he met all my Quincy guys, and he met everybody from L.A. I had a blast. Adolfo, we talked a lot that night, and probably until 2 a.m. I feel like.
Whoa. Yeah, well, you got to kind of fill me in on some of the details, because I remember. Because here's what I remember. So after the show, I hit up Wu-Tang. Shout out to Wu-Tang. Yeah. I know he's listening. And
my buddy Wu-Tang, he's not talking about the actual.
No, we got that. Yeah.
So, he kind of like he was the guy kind of coordinating everything together. And then I met Ramondi, and then he had the inside info, and we all jumped in an Uber. It was like I think 5 of us, and then we met up at a one bar, and then I was just kind of like holding court with the Quincy crew. So I met Ramondi, I met Wu-Tang, I met Dano, right? Dano was there.
You were kind of king of the court. You were talking to everybody.
Yeah, they were fans of the show, which was surprising.
No,
what's that supposed to mean? What do you mean they're fans of the show?
Yeah, maybe I get a little defensive. Maybe it's me in my old age. I don't know.
The fact that he doesn't remember most of it, Mike, is spot on. You're good.
Yeah.
So we went to another bar where we pretty much took that bar over. Like it was like a dead night for them until we showed up. It was like, and then like that's where we.
That's being kind. Yeah. No, right,
you guys just rolled in like Morris Day in the Time. It was jerk out,
Adolfo owns the world. Are you listening to this?
Yeah. How about that?
Wow.
Now, Adolfo, are you prepared this time?
Yeah.
Okay.
I have a note card. If it works for Conan, it can work for me.
You have a singular note card?
It sounds like a singular note card.
A singular note card. There's like points on here. It's not like I'm doing some sort of like Charles Rose interview or anything. Come on.
Well, you are supposed to take point on this.
Charles Rose.
His friends call him Charles.
Don't worry about it. I kind of skipped right over that. I skipped right over it. Is it Charles?
I kind of, but the details I want to kind of fill it in a little bit, because I remember we went to a third bar, and then that's where things got fuzzy.
Okay, well, you don't have to interview Mike Mitchell about the night that you spent together. You could do something that would perhaps both inform and entertain the audience that is listening. Remember, this isn't just a conversation between you and Mitch. This is something that is supposed to engage the audience. Adolfo.
Oh, right.
Okay,
got it.
All right, do like Babs Walter would do. Go ahead, consult your note card, and go ahead. Just take it away, Adolfo.
Can't have like 100 note cards like Jimmy Lipton.
Yeah.
All right,
Adolfo, take it away. The floor is yours.
All right, Mitch, you're a bit of a sporto. What's your favorite Boston sports memory?
What?
Oh man.
What the hell?
I mean, obviously the Red Sox winning in 2004. I was up in Ithaca, but that's number one. And then the 2008 Celtics championship are my favorite, but nothing crazy from any of that. Yeah, that's it. I mean, just like everyone else, like most of Boston. Sadly, I don't have a deeper answer.
I'm gonna give you two more questions,
and then we're gonna jump in
because that was.
Yeah, of all the things you could have asked him.
Right.
Well, if you're a fan of the show.
Not the Panera episode, not Jewish delis. We're going with this.
Well, this is
all right.
And this is difficult. When you know too much about a subject, it can make the interview very difficult because you don't
this is good notes. I like this.
You don't ask the questions that the audience might have about the Doughboys or about Mitch's, work in other fields. So, keep in mind, not everybody knows as much as you do. All right, go ahead.
Okay, so here's the thing about the Doughboys. The Doughboys, they are a podcast, and they could do like 2-hour, 3-hour shows, or episodes. Like, actually, last night was the finale of Much Madness. So,
That's right.
It's pretty early your time right now. How you feeling?
I'm tired for sure, but it was a fun night last night, Adolfo. Thank you for plugging it. And we're doing a big show in Boston this year. We're gonna be there on Thanksgiving Eve at the Wilbur.
Ooh,
and Adolfo,
nice.
And all you guys are invited to come out. And Adolfo, you're invited too. We'll reserve you a ticket. Your comp if you want to come.
That's a big night out, the Wednesday before Thanksgiving. I like it. So you guys are doing the Wilbur again.
We're going to the Wilbur again, yeah. Yeah, we're going to talk about fast food and other boring stuff like that, yeah.
All right.
Adolfo, we're going to have you come up on stage and walk out for a minute and say hello to the crowd.
Yeah, that'd be cool for the Boston show, yeah. But you're also coming out to Texas, too, right?
I'm coming down. Yeah, we are. We're going through there. We'll see you there too. I get to see you 2 times in November. We're going to see in Texas and in Boston.
You're a lucky man.
Yeah,
Mitch.
I know.
All right.
Spoil the riches.
Is there another question on your note card, Adolfo?
Yeah, I got another question.
All right, go ahead.
Was the Doughboy stuff written on the note card, by the way, that we had a show last night?
Yeah, actually. But hey, that was like a 5-hour show. Like, what's crazy about that? Yeah, like what's crazy about it is you had 1,800 viewers, like tuning in, and they paid money to watch this. I was one of them. Yeah. So yeah, and it was a great show. I
can't tell if you're making fun of us now that we had 1,800 people watching the show, but it was.
Well, I would.
It was great.
I would think that most of this is consumed via download after the fact. Is that
yes?
Okay,
not necessarily live audience.
Right.
I was trying to give them their props because the thing about this show is that they're always looking down on podcasts, and I'm you guys are a very successful podcast.
Oh, I agree with them. They should look down on podcasts. Podcasts are bad. They're mostly bad. I agree. I agree with you guys.
Well, what's good about yours is that there is a purpose to it. Now, I mean, obviously, you guys are very funny, and you can handle you can handle the conversation, and you can riff, and you can do things. But the fact that so many people are starting podcasts now with the idea of, I'm just going to have my friend on and we're going to talk. Well, no, there has to be some reason for me to listen and engage. And the fact that
format.
You guys do all the things that I love: chain restaurants, fast food restaurants, fast serve restaurants, and anybody who can't relate to that, A, I don't want to know you, and B, these are the I mean, what are you passionate about, really? It's about food, sex, sports. Food probably at the top of the list. So this is something you can all relate to, and you guys have a reason for doing the podcast. The fact that you branch off and do other things and can be entertaining about it, that's all gravy. But all these other podcasts that are just 2 or 3 people talking, why would I listen to that? The other podcasts don't give you a reason to listen.
I 100% agree. And it's honestly the thing that I'm going to miss the least about Jaylen Brown is that he's a podcaster.
Yeah, I mean, you're in good company. You and Jaylen Brown. So, yeah. One thing that does kind of irk me a little bit on the show is that whenever you do have to do, multiple episodes back-to-back, radio, we do back-to-back podcasts every day. Well, I used to. Not anymore.
Wow.
But,
okay.
But yeah, Do you think that
what
you'll
just
be
happened?
able
I
to?
don't know.
What just happened?
I don't know. What are you talking about, Adolfo?
I'm just saying.
What back-to-back podcasts are you talking about?
Well, because sometimes they'll have to record like multiple podcasts a day. and
No,
they'll,
but
like,
you said
they'll
in
do it.
radio we have to do back-to-back a day.
I was making a point, but anyway, it's like. So, do you think that you will be able to do like a sports pod if you could really like muster it up like the? Is that something you?
Or
think,
if you could ketchup it up.
Either one.
It
is a food podcast.
Sports podcast.
I was getting hungry.
That was the question. I think there was a question in there. And
Somewhere
yes,
there was a question
Mitch,
mark.
Could you do
a sports podcast?
Could you do a sports podcast?
I don't think so. I mean, I would maybe need your help, Adolfo, to do one, but I don't think I could. I don't think I could pull it off. I can only really food is at the way top of the list, and then sports is second, and then sex is way down the list. I don't think I could.
Well, I'll tell you, Mitch. There's people who do sports talk radio for like a long time and still can't do it. So I think you could do it. I really do.
That's kind of you. Maybe you and I have to start a sports podcast. So.
There we go. All right, Adolfo, may I step in for a moment?
Sure.
Okay. I want to
Thank you.
I want to talk to you about this extravaganza that took place last night. Was this the culmination of a season that was going on, or was this just something else entirely?
This is we have a thing every year called Munch Madness, and we basically put a bunch of different fast food places against each other. And last night it was a Big Mac versus Handel's Ice Cream, which they don't have in the Northeast, but Handel's is like a great ice cream spot. And we just had our live finale last night. It takes place in March, like March Madness, but we just finished it in July because my co-host went to Japan, so we extended it for like 5 months basically. 4 months.
I don't want to give anything away, but in these matchups, what was the most hotly contested matchup during Munch Madness?
Well, honestly, the last night there was a surprise, and there was a cheesy gordita crunch versus a Big Mac. That was the kind of the finale. I know, and it was and two of my favorites, honestly.
I don't know really how you can put anything against the Big Mac. It's got the quality control. It's virtually unchanged for decades. The cheesy gordita crunch has a lot going for it. But just, I mean, the attachment that people feel to the Big Mac, I don't know how you get past that. Even if it's not as good an item, how do you convince people that it is not better than virtually everything else?
It's fun. We've done in the podcast for 10 years, and like private equity has bought so much fast food, and it's gotten worse and worse. We've just seen it kind of like devolve over the 10 years, but McDonald's just kind of stays the same. It hasn't changed at all, and it's my favorite. I love it.
Okay.
It's the same thing that's happened to the Celtics, honestly. They got by private equity as well. It's the same thing that's happened to all the fast food. It's just getting worse. So.
Excellent tie-in. It was fantastic. Couldn't have done it better myself.
He's a pro. I'm telling you. He can do it. He can do it all.
Let me ask you something. The Doritos Loco Taco
I love it.
at Taco Bell. I thought it would have been a one-off. I didn't think it was going to be around for a while. I've come back to it. I think it might be the most underrated menu item, that and just the straight-up bean burrito.
Well, hang on. And I want everyone's opinion on this. I've had one of those within the last month. The first bite, fantastic. But as you continue on, it's just too much.
No,
it's
you're
just too much.
Of all the things you're wrong about, you couldn't be more wrong.
No, I don't think so.
Mitch, go ahead.
I agree that you're wrong on this one. I love the Doritos Locos Taco. I was shooting Parks and Rec, and I was talking about how excited I was about it, and Chris Pratt kind of made fun of me for it, and I got upset at him. I was like, hey, the Doritos Loco Taco comes out today. And he was like, cool, man, and kind of rolled his eyes. And I was like, you're a fake fat guy. I was like, that's a fake fat guy. You don't care about it at all.
Little did he know that you two will co-star together in the Tomorrow War. Little did he know.
That is true. I worked with him later on. And he's not a fake fat guy. He just,
He plays one on TV.
He plays one on TV,
Yeah.
exactly.
I want you to take this opportunity, if you want to set people straight. As a Quincy guy, as someone who has had to grow up with people just fawning all over on and on about their North Shore beefs. Look, they're fantastic. But these people immediately dismiss Arby's. Now, it's not the same. It's not the same thing. Of course it's not. But you don't have Arby's around here. And back in the day, there were a handful, and practically none now. As a man who is spread out, spread his wings, branched out, could you please speak to the value and the worthwhileness of an Arby's beef and cheddar?
I will go to bat for beef and cheddar. I love a beef and cheddar. They're fantastic. It's sad the New England not having Arby's just available. There's one that's like a 45-minute drive from Quincy or something, and during COVID I went there like 5 times. It's now even hard to get in LA, but people say it's like low quality fast food. It's fantastic. And also, what are we doing here? You're above Arby's. You're above a beef and cheddar. It doesn't make any sense to me. If you're going through a fast food line, you're good enough to go to an Arby's. And I honestly think like the quality is so much better than like Burger King and a lot of Wendy's and things like that. It's become a joke, I think, from like The Simpsons or whatever. People just think it's going to like give you diarrhea basically. And it's not the case. So
and you know what? Arby's is better than Kelly's. I'm going to go ahead and say it.
Okay, now, Dolphin.
That's insane.
You were pitching a gem, and then all of a sudden, wow.
Kelly's is overrated.
It's like not.
No, it's really not. No.
It's not.
No.
They're almost different things, and Nick's and King's and all the other North Shore beef places are better than that, but they're just different. I will say this too, Mitch. I don't know if you stumbled upon this frozen food section of your supermarket. Arby's curly fries available right there with the rest of the frozen French fries, and they are
fantastic.
They're a delight.
Cape Cod pieces, if I can get them out here, that's I love tossing those in the freezer too. But they're hard to find out on the West Coast.
All of a sudden, my taco take doesn't look nearly as bad now, does it?
Oh my God, Adolfo! All right, well, Adolfo, we're going to send it back to you for the final question here, and then we're going to talk about this Wednesday night before Thanksgiving show one more time. But you have one more? Hit us all with your best prepared question.
Let's see here.
He already used it.
Nice job, Hardy.
All right, so July 24th, big party coming up. Mitch?
Oh, yes.
Yeah, like
your 40th, right?
My 40th, yeah. Oh, by the way, thanks for the birthday wishes. Appreciate that. You hit a like on my Instagram post. But anyway, you got any plans on the 24th?
I currently no. I don't think so. Why? What's up?
I'm just saying, like, the invitation's open if you find yourself in Boston for the weekend. So yeah,
I'm in Los Angeles, but that is in 11 days, basically, right? You want me to fly back?
So if you
that was your question,
Mitch, if you hop in the car and leave now,
that was the big interview ender. You were going to invite Mitch to your birthday party at Encore on July 24th.
Well, that was the last question I had.
Okay.
Oh man, I mean, I would love to go. I might have to honestly work that weekend. I'm not even lying, Adolfo, but if I'm free, I would fly out and join you at Encore. That sounds like a blast.
No,
I'll bring some Kellys.
We'll definitely meet each other later in the year. So,
okay.
Yeah, I mean, it's not that big deal. But yeah, I'm definitely hitting up the Quincy crew and see if they're around.
They'll join you. They're down to drink.
Instead, we will all have a chance to see you the Wednesday before Thanksgiving. And what will be taking place? At the Wilbur that night. Can you give us a little preview of what that show is going to be like?
We always try to do a local spot when we come back. So we've done like Regina, which is the North End Regina. I think is the best pizza in the world. I love it. And we've done Kelly's roast beef, which people the other people were kind of hard on Kelly's. They were with Adolfo.
Yeah, I've heard Arby's is better.
But we'll have a big show with like a special guest, and we've had like Zach Cherry, Stavros Halkias, a bunch of funny people, John Gabris, like all these, Nicole Byer, all these funny people on our podcast, and we'll have a guest there with us, and we'll review some local place, and it'll be a good time. And Adolfo, you'll be there. We'll bring you out.
Oh yeah, I'll be there.
All right. Hey, Mitch, great to talk to you again. And Mike Mitchell, co-host of the podcast Doughboys, and once again, going to be back in town at the Wilbur the Wednesday before Thanksgiving. Appreciate it as always, Mitch. Thanks, man.
Oh, I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for having me. Thanks, Adolfo. I'll see you soon. Happy birthday, buddy.
Thanks, Mitch.
All right.
Bye.
There we go. Great job, Adolfo.
Thank you.
Well done. We're going to talk to you again, I think, on Wednesday when Fred is back, and we have to talk more about this birthday party that we're planning. Okay.
Okay. Oh, okay. I thought it was about the fart monitor. Is that still on the books?
Yeah, we're going to do that the following week. But listen, do you have a plane ticket yet to come up here?
I haven't gotten I haven't got anything yet.
Oh boy! Oh boy!
This should be fun.
He doesn't really need to be there.
No,
just zoom me in.
No,
I could do this.
Zoom.
You want to zoom in for
his birthday party?
For the party? It would be a lot easier.
I'd rather be there, but
kidding.
No,
I get it.
All right,
times are tough.
All options are on the table. All right, thank you, Adolfo. Good job.
Thank you.
Okay, there we go.
Bye.
All right, we'll be back with the
that was good.
World famous email, was it?
Oh, it was great.
About Mitch was great.
Yeah.
We'll be back with the award-winning email segment next.
You're listening to Toucher and Hardy.
don't know.
It's been.
If I have, I'm sorry to say I don't recall.
How long has he been on hold?
No, I don't know. Not long. Yeah,
Okay.
go ahead.
I know it used to be like Johnson and Flynn, and I used to call them when I was really loaded on the weekends, like in the afternoon, and talk to them.
Well, that was. I mean, you could be describing any number of our callers on the weekends.
Everybody was raising their growlers in solidarity with the Johnston and Flynn show. But go ahead, Scott.
Yeah, that was a good episode of the golf club. There was Hardy was at the Vanguard Golf Club, and they have a gym there that you can go to at 3 a.m. So I really enjoyed that. And then the week before, he had this guy on. Like, this was actually really cool. He was playing like every golf course in the state of Massachusetts, and I learned all this stuff about the Winchester Golf Club. But one of the things, and I'm also wondering if Fred made it out of Birmingham yet, like, because he was supposed to leave by Monday. So that's kind of a big deal. But the thing is, like, I'm really looking forward to this party at Encore. I think it's going to be a pretty big deal. Oh, and that last segment, Adolfo completely blew it because Kelly's Roast Beef is a sponsor of the Sports Hub, saying that we do podcasts and stuff. You should know that. Kelly's Roast Beef actually was the original Arby's. Arby's copied Kelly's Roast Beef. You probably are getting emails about that right now. That's something you guys worked it in the Boston.
Yeah.
In the Boston market, and the tall ships are also here.
Yeah.
You can see the tall ships at multiple places. The Fan Pier, Black Falcon Terminal. It's very good. It's free. There looks like a lot of people going on the tall ships eat at Arby's, like all their meals, every one of them, because it's free. And one other thing too, the thing about this, Hardy, would you like to share a hotel room with me when we go to the Encore Casino? I think we might need a hotel room. Me and you can share it so we can, during the party, we can go up to the hotel room, come back down, take a breather, get away from the fans.
Absolutely, that's not going to happen. Thank you, Scott. And I wanted to
what's going on in that hotel room?
I wanted to let you know that that Zolak and Bertrand are actually broadcasting live from the tall ships. Do you have the information on that, Ryan?
It's Fan Fest down the tall ships, and they're set up on a stage in front of all the boats.
Wow! So they're going to they're down there.
I remember my boat. I have it. I have a boat right here.
So have you seen, like, there are multiple videos now being posted on the station account of people doing their Scott Zolak impersonation?
Yes, I have seen that.
Yeah,
I have seen that. Saw it when I got back.
I mean,
none of them are as good as yours. If it makes you feel any better.
Well, thank you. But
you are number one.
And I think it's somebody in the afternoon. It might be like an intern or someone from the afternoon show is posting these things.
This is Aurora. Yeah, she is an intern for the afternoon show. A proud student of One Bryant University.
Oh, all right. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, I'm not here, anywhere close to when, they're showing up, except for James Stewart, who is oftentimes here before we leave for the day.
Yes, very true.
He's in early for the afternoon, guys. But, it is kind of head-scratching to see all these Scott Zolak impersonations being pimped out online. I'm like,
hey. I was first. Yeah. You did it first. The crossover with you and Fred taking the place of Beetle and Zolak. People still talk about this.
I don't even want to do it anymore.
No, that's wrong.
That's
wrong.
Everybody's
that's completely.
I mean, at
wrong.
some point, they're all doing an impression of you doing an impression of Scott Zolak.
That's absolutely right. I think that's all that is.
That's like Gilbert Gottfried did make a career of it, but he had a good portion of his act of doing impressions of people doing impressions of Jerry Seinfeld and Andrew Dice Clay. And then people started doing impressions of Gilbert Gottfried's impression of people doing impressions of them. It was just this long chain going on.
Hardy, we have a lot of people weighing in on the last interview we just did.
Okay, well let me do the sponsor.
Okay,
first.
Go right ahead.
Toucher and Hardy email bit is powered by Jeffrey Glassman Injury Lawyers. If you've been hurt in a car or work accident, you got to get Glassman. Don't just send an email. Call all sevens, 617-777-7777, or visit gottagetglassman.com.
Just for funsies, can you guys let Adolfo host the entire hour of the show at least once a week? I think that's a great idea.
Who would that be fun for?
Well, we get an hour off. Let's see. Adolfo doing this interview is a modern day episode of the Chris Farley Show SNL skit.
There was an element to that, but I do give Adolfo credit for being prepared, having a note card with questions written on the note card. So, I mean,
he asked the hard-hitting questions that we all were hoping he would, like such as, what's your favorite Boston sports memory?
Exactly.
Right. He led with that one. That was great.
Gabe, what do you miss most about Boston?
I know.
Will you show up at my birthday party that's happening in 2 weeks from now?
That was a question.
You live in L.A., but
it technically was a question.
Oh man, and this one it said, "Will someone please hand Adolfo a parachute, Hardy? This is on you."
No, this is something that we do like once a year. We let Adolfo on to interview someone he's a fan of. He's a big fan of the Doughboys podcast. So here's Sarah and Everett saying that we go to Arby's at the beginning of the summer and buy a bag of 20 beefs. We freeze them and enjoy all summer long.
You're not like you could go around the corner to Arby's if you wanted to, correct?
No, you can't. I mean, there are no Arby's around here. That's the point. You have to travel like an hour west. There's one out, like in the Mass Pike. So.
It's been a while since I've been to Arby's.
Well, that's the whole point, John. They're not around here anymore.
That's
you know what? I
bad.
blame your town, too, as like every fast food.
Natick does. They have just about everything but an Arby's. It's true.
Like multiple locations of fast food, and you can't get an Arby's in Natick.
Can get just about anything else.
That's
we used to have a Moe's, too. It was great.
A bad job by them.
I know.
Here we go. Oh, I have lots of Redwoods suggestions from people.
Can't wait to hear this.
If your wife wants to go see the Redwood, here's a plan. Stretch the trip out. Get some Hardy time. Fly out to Santa Barbara instead of LAX. Could even do Long Beach if you want to. Regardless, start around LA. Drive up the PCH, the Pacific Coast Highway. You can hit Big Sur along the way. Pebbles at the end of Big Sur. Stay in Carmel by the Sea for a night. San Francisco for a day or two. How much? What am I, European? What am I, taking a sabbatical for this? Go to Napa for a day or two, fly back from San Francisco. Oh, my God.
Sounds great. Let her rip.
I really don't want
to. You got a spare 10 grand lying around?
I really don't want to.
That's a cheap part of the world.
Yeah.
You know, rolling through the Bay Area.
Oh, here's one from Andy.
Money.
For a complete Redwoods vacation, you could swing Bandon Dunes Golf Resort, too. They're about 2 hours from each other, something to think about. Now, I want to go play Bandon. I want to, there's, I think, like 6 courses there now, but there's nothing else there. You go to Bandon Dunes, and it's, a place to stay and a clubhouse and golf courses, and that's it. But that's a week just by itself. I'm not going to squeeze in some tree peeping while I'm out there.
Sure you can.
No, I'm not going to do all that.
Be great.
Forget about it. It's not happening.
Shotzi peeping.
How the hell can Blind Scott see the tall ships from all over the city? That is the question. Whenever Blind Scott has a comment about somebody's appearance or about the tall ships being in town or something that's happening that, you can see and go see, one questions whether or not Blind Scott is just using the royal you or we can see things, because presumably he cannot.
You think it's a Stevie Wonder situation?
That's what a lot of people have theorized. There's no actual blindness going on.
Yeah. I'm not sure he thinks about the pronouns. I really don't.
Oh, I think he thinks a lot about pronouns, but not in the case
not
of
in that case.
the
No,
blindness or
I understand what
anything
you're
like that.
talking about.
All right, very good. Let's step aside. We'll come back with the stack and wrap this up here on Toucher and Hardy.
Sports Hub.
It is the Stack on Toucher and Hardy with Ryan Johnston in today. John Wallach champing at the bit. He said, I got two things. All right, Wallach, what do you got?
All right, we have World Cup news. Either of you guys watch the World Cup matches on Saturday?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
The late match had Argentina play Switzerland. It was the last quarterfinal match of the tournament in Kansas City late Saturday night. This game, even at 1 in the 67th minute.
After review, there is no foul for number 5. And number 7, there is a clear simulation. Final decision, yellow card to number 7.
Okay.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow. And in that instance, all hell is going to break loose here. Switzerland are absolutely furious.
Okay. Argentinian midfielder Leandro Paredes appeared to take down Swiss forward Breel Embolo and was given a yellow card. But, as you just heard, after replay had its say, it was clear that Embolo pulled, and Ryan, you know this is true, a Montreal Canadiens forward trick. Dove without being touched. Replay caught it. Embolo got a yellow card. It was his second of the match, and he got tossed. Switzerland had to play the last 25 minutes or so of regulation, and then overtime, a man down. They finally allowed 2 goals in the second 15 minutes of overtime and lost 3-1. Argentina moves through into the semifinals. But in a match like that, should Breel Embolo have been tossed?
I think... Okay, so number one, there's 2 questions here. Should you be using VAR for this specific reason? If you're going to use it to get the call right. They got the call right. It was an absolute simulation, as you said. He wasn't touched. Number 2, in this instance, in this World Cup quarterfinal, should it be used? Yes, if you're going to use it. Now, there are times when calls, and I think refs should swallow the whistles, most notably playoff hockey. Things are going to get a little chippier, things are going to get a little rougher. Every once in a while there, yes. But in this case, yeah, if he was trying to impact the game by drawing the penalty like that and it almost went the other way, there has to be some sort of deterrent for that. And the best deterrent is to pick up the yellow. In this case, is second, get tossed from the match. So I'm okay with both.
For a sport that is known for embellishment, right, where guys do this, how many times a game is there a delay in the game because some guy is laying on the ground who has not been injured? You're kicking a guy out of the game for it? I mean, you wouldn't have any players left. That was my biggest takeaway from it was like, you see that 100 times a game.
Usually,
so it's worth a card because you miss. Because the only reason that cost him the game and getting kicked out of the game was because they carded the other guy and then went and looked at it on replay. Had the official not overreacted by giving a yellow card to the original guy, then he wouldn't have had to. They never would have even looked at the replay.
So Argentina moves through. They've led a charmed life. Remember, they had all sorts of trouble with Cape Verde earlier in the knockout round. Cape Verde. I was told Verde.
It's Verde.
It's
Cabo Verde.
Okay, you win. Congratulations. It's Cabo Verde.
Verdians.
Great.
Not Viridians, as I had said my whole life. It's Verdians.
However you pronounce it, Argentina has kind of threaded the needle in more than one match. But here they are in the semifinals. France against Spain in Dallas tomorrow. By the way, afternoon match. Big fan of that. And then England and Argentina Wednesday in Atlanta, the winner to play for the title in New Jersey on Sunday. I can tell you, having spoken to some England soccer fans, they figure they are lucky just to be this far. They are not assuming that this team goes any further than this. They think they'll lose to Argentina. So France and Argentina were in the
with
final
attitudes
4
like
years
that,
ago.
they probably will.
France and Argentina were in the Final Four years ago. Argentina won, and here they are both back in the Final Four. Quick story. It has to do with a concert. Jay-Z played Yankee Stadium last night. The concert was supposed to start at 8 p.m.
Okay.
And this is on a Sunday night. Unfortunately, after letting some of the crowd in, there was a group of people who pushed through security, and immediately the security in there thought that there was a danger to the people inside. They locked the doors. 10,000 people still waiting to get in outside. So the concert was delayed. Anyone want to guess when the concert started?
Supposed to start at 8.
Yep.
It didn't start until 9:30.
It started at 12:16 a.m.
What?
12:16 this morning.
What venue?
Yankee Stadium.
Oh, my God.
So,
because you want to be hanging out in the Bronx at like 2 a.m. after that show gets out. That sounds...
Jay-Z takes the stage at 12:16. Now, he had Beyonce was there. It was apparently the 30th anniversary of the release of his first album.
He did 3 nights at Yankee Stadium.
This was the last one. So there was no givebacks. There was no, we'll schedule this another night. He had to do it, but the concert was delayed over 4
happened in the
hours.
meantime? Like, they didn't clear everybody out and re-entry everybody,
people
right?
that were inside stayed inside. The people that were outside stayed outside. 4
So what was
hours.
the delay for?
The delay was, I guess, to chase the people down who broke through security without tickets.
Oh. Okay, so I didn't know that there were people there who were unticketed who pushed
Yes,
their way.
they crashed
I thought they
through
were just.
security to get
I thought
there.
they were just pushing in to get, like, if it was a GA show, to get in there first. and get close to the
Apparently,
stage.
there were non-ticketed. I was reading this. Apparently, there were non-ticketed people that rushed in, and the Yankee Stadium people decided, nope, we're going to find these guys.
That's why I don't go to concerts. I mean, I
4
do.
hours.
I'll go to concerts, but if it's at a venue like that and there's like any hint of like a rush to get in, no.
Show ended with fireworks at 2:45 a.m.
Would you stick around for the fireworks?
I'd be thrilled if I lived in the neighborhood.
That's true. They don't have the curfew that we have here.
Ryan, you're back tomorrow.
I am here tomorrow.
Same 3 crew tomorrow. All right, we'll talk to you then here on Toucher and Hardy. Zolak and Bertrand.